Wanderers, welcome to episode 129. Ahoy, matey! It's May, and May means it gets warmer here in southern Indiana. Getting warmer and into summertime means it's time to be out on the water, whether it be the lake or the river. Today's episode of the Wondering Dutchmen podcast is brought to you by our friends at Port of Jasper. Located at 1360 Crossroads Avenue in Jasper, our friends at Port of Jasper want to get you ready for the upcoming boating season. With an inventory that boasts new and used boats, as well as an excellent service department, Port of Jasper is ready to get you on the water. Port of Jasper also has boating accessories to make your time on the water even more enjoyable. Everything from tubes, ropes, skis, and life jackets. They carry Tracker, Nitro, Sun Tracker, Regency, and Tahoe boats. A fine lineup of excellent watercraft. See our friends today at Port of Jasper. If it has been a while since you stopped by, visit them soon because new ownership is excited to help you this boating season.
The Wondering Dutchmen podcast,
where none of us are Dutch, but we all live in Holland, Indiana. Join us where we talk about what we all wonder about. This is the Wondering Dutchmen podcast coming to you from Smokers Lounge.
The Wandering Dutchman. Yeah. The Wandering Dutchman. Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Here
I like
we
it.
go.
Sorry, guys.
God bless
Here-
America.
Here we go. Before we get started, gentlemen, if you'll remove your hats for a moment of silence. Friend of the show, wonderful musician, the one that turns real country into not so real anymore, is out for the
Last
next
night
6
I let
weeks
the liquor talk.
to let them vocal cords rest. Morgan Whalen,
Wailing about that vagina.
we are officially sending him a Hyman Hertz shirt.
Yep, he'll have a
and
fresh.
we're offering our services up. So if we could actually,
You figure out how to sell those. I
Hey,
bet we
hey,
made a lot of
if
money.
you've got a little beer, go ahead and just pour a little out.
Just a little bit out
A
there.
little bit
Yeah.
out for our homie Morgan Whalen. Really touched by his loss. I know that Natalie Ingram's going to be devastated.
I'm gonna get right to it. I'm gonna get right to it here and tell you.
I ate too many hot dogs.
I got real drunk the other night, and I just can't
Swallowing
sing
tobacco.
anymore.
Can't sing them country songs.
Man, what a banger! Here we go, episode 129.
That's right.
You know, we're really slowly starting to trickle down to that 1 year mark, and
I know,
we have not
man.
planned our 1 year bash.
Oh, it's
We
going to
just
plan
keep
itself.
talking about how awesome it is.
It's going to plan itself. That's the thing.
Like
It's gonna
us in
plan
true
itself.
fashion. This is going to be cool. Yeah, well, let's do it. Let's wait till the last minute.
It's
and
going to
then have
plan
a party.
itself. I guarantee you that.
It might be in the parking lot of IGA.
Who cares? I don't give a damn if it's in the
Last place
parking lot
available.
of Smokers Lounge.
Are
If
you
we buy
selling Girl
700
Scouts?
pieces of chicken, can we have some folks in the parking
Hey,
lot?
now Beeler's makes some quality fried chicken. Shameless plug here, not paid promotion, but hey, they got some pretty quality fried chicken up
Nothing compared to our friends at Catering by Meyer.
there. No,
Where
absolutely
Brad
not.
Brown and Bubba Feltner.
Bubba Feltner. No, it's Brad Brown and Jared Feltner.
Jared Feltner bring
They
you the
fry
best.
their ass off. Other than that, how's
Frying
your
their asses off.
Last
down
night
there.
I
Uh,
lost
let
my
the-
voice.
Yep.
Hey,
How's your week? What's
that
going
is-
on?
Yeah, here, hold on.
Oh, here we go.
God, we got to taint our ears.
Dang.
Taint. I
Do it.
said.
I got some bad news.
I got
I got
My
some
doctor's
I got some
I
bad
got some
news.
bad news, man.
I got some bad news.
Well, hey, on
Whatever,
better
goddamn
news,
well.
Casey, what's your week like, bro?
Well, I got a short story if you'll entertain it.
Oh hell, we got nothing but time,
Yeah,
brother.
so I was at my sleep doctor appointment, the old checkup,
Yeah.
which is always an enjoyable experience. And there is nothing like going from being weighed like a cattle
Yeah.
to heading to Crazy Buffet for lunch. So why do you have sleep apnea? Well, because my neck is 35 inches around.
Wow.
Oh, what are you doing for lunch today? I'm gonna go to Crazy Buffet. So while I'm at Crazy Buffet, they have a sign there that says, don't waste, take only what you'll eat. So I was finishing up. I kind of polished off.
How did they say? How do you think that's supposed to be said?
I'm not going to do it. I'm not falling for that trap. So anyways, there was a lady who was in front of me in the other booth that had gotten pizza. Pizza at the crazy
old
buffet.
Chinese buffet.
So the older Asian lady that was working.
Oh, you got pizza. I
there we
did it.
go.
I'm sorry. I couldn't hold
So
back
the-
anymore.
so the older,
I want pizza.
And we're canceled.
the older Asian lady that runs the joint comes over and says, and I'm not going to say it in the voice, but she's like, eat pizza that way. And the lady's response goes, you know why I eat pizza like that? And the lady goes, the Asian lady goes, I've told you before, eat pizza that way. You waste too much. And I'm like, and the other lady responds, I've told you why I have to do. And I thought like we were going to get into fisticuffs.
Oh my
Hell
God.
yeah.
So I'm like mid-bite of General Tso's chicken. And I'm like,
General Sal's. Huh?
I
Who's
don't
a
know. Tao's.
So-
Whatever. Anyways. So
He was getting ready.
so I'm sitting there just like watching with bated breath, and they kind of just both like put their guns down and parted
Oh
ways.
my God, Arlo, easy.
So when I got up to leave, I looked at what the lady had done.
Yeah.
She had just squirreled the toppings off the pizza and set the plate. Now there wasn't like one or two slices. There was a dozen slices.
Oh my God,
So
she ate
all
nothing
the-
but the cheese and the
the crust was
pepperoni.
there.
She's probably on the keto diet.
No, because she had other plates of other stuff.
Oh, okay.
But,
Never
like,
mind.
So I was sitting there and I was like, first off, how many times have you done this where this lady knows you come and do this,
Oh yeah.
comes over, calls you out for it, and you respond with,
Do you
"I've
remember?
told you why."
Do you remember the Chinese buffet that used to be in Huntingburg by Budget Video?
Yes.
Okay, when we would go in there with my best friend Matthew Noblet, we would go in there, and the first thing that the people, like the wait staff or whoever, the lady, hi Matt, hi Matt, you know what I mean? Like they knew,
Yeah.
old Nobby and Big Mace are coming in here. Hi Matt, you know what I mean? Like they were firing
Katie
it up.
bar the door.
That's right, buddy. But other than the pizza munching, what's going on? Nothing, Matt? Baseball?
No, we turned up the sleep machine a little bit. I told her I
yeah.
felt like I was reaching the max. She took a gander, so I've been sleeping a little bit better.
Good deal.
Busy with baseball. We haven't played real well lately, but that's okay. We kind of had a fun practice today. We played kickball and ate a little pizza.
Good deal.
Just
You
kind of
need that.
reset the batteries, but kids are doing well, and we're kind of it's life comes at you fast.
Mm-hmm.
My eldest had her. Not that I agree with graduation pictures from preschool to kindergarten. That's not here nor there. But Zoe looks damn cute in that little gown cap, and it's just she's smiling big. She's happy, healthy, and it was very nice that to see that. But it just reminds you, like I told her, because I think Holland does like a kind of like a preview day in May here, and I called and she was like, I was like, yeah, it won't be long. You're in school agers, and she's like, oh, I'm not old enough for that. And I'm like, sweetie, like you'll be going to kindergarten next year. She just like realizes it, but she thinks it's all going to be there at
That's nuts,
Huntingburg.
man.
And I'm like, honey, like we're in the
You're
big
going
leagues
to the
now.
big leagues.
Yeah,
That's what I
we're
was
in the
gonna
big
say.
leagues. So, but everything's good. Kids are well. Janelle's great. About when this comes out on the 18th, I think we'll have about 2 weeks of baseball left, and it's been an up and down season. But we've, as our good friend Tom Osborne would say, we endeavor to persevere.
There, amen.
So that's what I got.
Arlo, what's up?
I went to Nashville last weekend.
Yeah.
Last night I let the liquor talk.
Did you go down there for Taylor Swift?
I did not.
Holy shit. Did you see all the
it
videos?
was
These
from that?
people that would stand around for 3 hours
Oh, yeah.
in
It's
the rain,
insane.
like some of the pictures, they were tighter than cattle.
I've
the
had,
concourse.
I've had several. I got several Snapchats from people that I knew at that show, and it looked absolutely miserable. But T Swift, she showed out, man. She played till like 2:00 in the morning after lightning delays and
I
all
bet
kinds
she
of shit.
even had a sore throat.
I bet she did.
Wow.
Ooh.
Are you kicking Morgan while he's down?
No.
Man.
I was going to say
Right.
something.
Right.
I was going to say
My
something a little bit
voice.
more
Hey,
inappropriate
did
about
you-
that sore
hey,
throat. But
what did you guys think about my text message to you after you sent that to me? No one commented on my little joke that I got
Oh, about Tyler Childers only playing for 45 minutes.
back at a
in
dive bar
bars.
on a Friday. I wonder what he does through the week, like Monday through Friday.
You know
probably
what? Like the
tours.
content's
He's,
so
no, he's
good,
probably
though.
bagging groceries or
Asphalt
something. I would
paving
guess.
job.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys that don't work
He's a
release.
blue collar guy.
Yeah, that's how you come up with stuff to write good songs.
Oh, wait, you don't mean last night I let the liquor talk?
yeah,
Is not a
he
banger.
built his street cred by not using racial slurs.
Says the guy that appropriates a couple different cultures.
That's fine.
Ouch.
Uh,
Man, hey, we all make
zing.
mistakes. Okay?
That's fine. Hey, but anyway, Nashville looked like a good time. Seen several pictures. Looked like
Yeah.
you had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had a great time. I went to a
deal.
wedding, and it was interesting. The wedding venue was like an event center, but it looked like an old barn, which was cool. But they had, this was the coolest thing I've ever seen. So they had a island in the middle of a lake that you cross a bridge to get into. It's all man-made. This is not a.
Terabithia.
This is not a.
I think it's probably more like Kenny Rogers. Islands in the street.
Oh,
Yeah. But it was a little island that you cross a bridge to get into, and then they do your outdoor wedding and go over. So yeah, it was fancy. It was cool. But had a great time.
What was on the,
missed
Little wedding
Nashville.
island.
What was on the menu?
Definitely not fried chicken, which is a staple of any DuBois
Bet
County
that
wedding.
sucked.
So
Yeah, it's a
it
terrible
was
wedding.
it was
Out
like
on
Tofu.
pork and chicken. I mean, it was
Oh.
fine.
Tofu.
We got Morgan Wallen and Tofu Fiddlers.
Man,
Tempura tofu fiddlers. All right, guys, let's give our little break.
man.
Sound like a great trip, though.
Yeah,
We're glad
great
you had
trip.
a
Pictures
blast.
look great.
Yes.
We're glad you had
Oh.
safe travels.
Guys, I have not recorded this whole fucking time.
What do you mean?
I'm
Oh,
just
on the
kidding.
board.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I just wanted to mess with you guys, get you back.
Oh,
Did you really hit it, though?
Yeah, it's recording.
Yeah.
God, we're going to slash your tires, man. Did you see how that worked?
Hey, you know what though?
I've
It
got
was
to edit this out now.
No.
There's F-bombs.
Oh shoot.
Who did that?
he did.
Hey, why don't you just bleep them out?
Yeah, we got a bleep button.
It's not that hard. I'll show you how to do it.
We'll figure it out. My week has been pretty common, normal. It rained, so we skipped a night at the ball field.
Well, that was
Tuesday
nice.
night, yeah, it was really nice. Monday night, Tuesday night, Monday rain, Tuesday night off, Wednesday, Thursday off Friday. So pretty run of the mill. Got some mowing done.
Oh, yeah. Did you do it responsibly?
Yeah, hell yeah, I did.
Attaboy.
Other than that, gearing up for a big weekend in Indianapolis. Got to marry off one of the little stout girls there. Family, Justine's family. Gonna head up to gonna go do a little wedding jigging up there at the Roundabout Village.
You got your clothes ready?
I did, and I'm gonna talk about that in my hour one topic. But anyway,
Sorry.
the warden had a very big day today. Proud husband moment. Proud husband moment. She was asked to be the keynote speaker for the nursing pinning ceremony and graduation for the class of 2023 at the Wabash Valley College over in Mount Carmel, Illinois. Wabash Valley College. You know where that's at? She was asked to be the keynote speaker over there at the nursing graduation for the pinning ceremony.
How about a small round of applause for the warden?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that's cool.
Yeah. So she gave a 10-minute speech for all the, I guess, incoming nurses to
Yeah,
the
that's
nursing
great.
world.
She probably talked about find you a loving, caring, supporting husband.
I do. So
also
she did a
podcaster.
recital. She recited her speech to me, and I'm not gonna lie, fellas. Like I got emotional at the end, dude. Like I'm super proud of her. Like I don't give her enough
She's
credit.
a good girl.
She hates my
someone gonna
guts.
record it?
She
Huh?
hates my
I asked her if one of her friends recorded it or not, but I don't know if they did. It was today.
Oh, she
Yeah,
already
she already-
happened.
she already gave the
crap,
speech.
man.
I know. But
Oh, well.
yeah, she hates my guts 95% of the time. But I just wanted to tell her that she is a rock star.
But
and
you
I'm
don't
super-
hate her guts.
No, I don't. I'm super proud of her, and yeah, my wife's a badass. And anyway, yeah, we're heading to Indy, and I don't want to get dressed up, but I have to. So
Yeah, I
anyway,
get it. I
go
get
ahead, Dave. What do you got?
Not a daggone thing. I went to work, went to baseball, went to t-ball, went to more baseball, then more baseball, mowed some grass, and here we are doing 29.
Yeah.
I really
Oh,
just don't have anything new to add this week. It's just been a good old, and no news is good news, I think.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be mowing?
Freaking great. I mowed last night until probably 10, 15 or so, super responsibly. Had a couple of errors come up. My thermally biased hydration container strap broke, and but we didn't have any casualties.
For the dumb people out there, that means the bungee cord holding the cooler to the hood of his lawnmower broke, and the cooler fell out, but nothing spilt, so everything's fine.
But yeah, so it took a little while, and I noticed though yesterday when I'm rehydrating at a
I get that for you.
consistent pace, the mowing takes longer.
Huh?
Yeah, when you hydrate,
Pee breaks.
yep.
Yeah.
And
I think you were complaining about the lines not being as straight either.
no, it wasn't that they weren't straight. It was just hard to see the differentiation between the tall grass and the short grass. Got a headlight issue. I'm gonna have to get some better, higher lumen headlights.
I bought some that's going to look like an alien spaceship.
I
coming
love
down.
it. You mow like I don't know how many times Justine's like, "Is he freaking mowing again?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "It's 20 after 11,"
Yeah.
and
I
I'm
love
like,
it.
"Yeah."
I like
he's-
late night mowing.
He's got to get it done. He's
Yeah.
got to.
That's how I
You
get all
got
my
to strike
steps
when
in.
the iron's hot.
And I've
I
been
closed
talking
my
about
rings twice last night mowing.
Beating around on the mower.
Yeah, it's like, are you riding a bicycle? Yep.
No,
You've reached your exercise goal.
How did you do that?
How did I do what?
That's
How
awesome.
did you get the bicycle to pop
It
on
just
there?
pops up. It says, "Are you bicycling?" I think it's a mix between my heart rate and my speed, and it's like this fat
Are
bastard's
you
exercising.
you're mowing with a B series or what are you
Oh,
mowing?
yeah.
I mean, it doesn't require a lot of physical activity, does it?
Well,
Shit,
yeah.
reaching under
Yes.
the cooler. Hold on, you got to get that cooler. When you're mowing the roadside, you got to keep the cooler from spilling over.
Here's what I'm thinking
and then
about.
you got to be able to
And
wave.
you're rocking out. I mean, there's lots of cardio and rocking out.
Here's what we need.
GoPro
We need-
on the roll bar of David's lawnmower.
Yeah, well, I can do that. But the other thing I was thinking about is I was looking on Kubota's website. I don't see anything initially. But do they not have a cooler mount, or we need someone to fab you one up for your tractor?
We need
Well, we
to
don't
talk to
need
our
someone.
friends.
I was actually just thinking I was going to fab my own up, paint it black, and then we might try to.
Sell it.
Yeah, we might try to market it through our friends.
Wait,
at,
that's enough. Enough said.
yeah.
You're
Yeah,
done.
leave it there. So a good friend of the program, neighbor on 161 there, Morgan Brett's.
Oh, he's got my lawnmower right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He does a lot of stuff on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he told me, he's like, get you just 2 of these lights. It'll be perfect. Well, me being me, I bought the 2 lights, but then I
And-
bought the bar up there.
Oh my god.
That's going to be like right here. So then I was looking for brackets to mount. And so I found brackets to mount on it, and it's going to look like an alien ship coming down the
And a
hill.
14-inch light bar on the whole freaking
I think
deal.
it's actually 21 inch.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
It's going to hang over.
Now,
like
do you
what
have
that is.
anything pointing backwards?
At that 0 turn, we don't go backwards.
Now,
Oh,
see what
yeah.
I'm going to get, because I was thinking about last time, I put a small light bar on the front, but I also need to put 2 pod lights pointing down right behind the deck, because I got some stumps that I got to get around.
You know,
And when
my
it's
dad.
dark,
My
it's
dad
hard
said the thing the other day. So I mow with a loader tractor unit as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, I take my loader off when I mow.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so I don't. But my dad was like, "Hey, just take the bucket off,
Yeah, I bet that helps.
and then the lights work a lot better. You just drop the bucket." What are
Do
you
you have
laughing
a, do you
at?
have a B series too, or what do you have?
I have a
well, we don't want to talk
we
about
We don't
wanna
want to talk about what
I
he's
have.
got.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
piece of junk.
We're waiting for our friends at Hopf Outdoor Power to gift
Hey,
us
David,
tractor.
tell us about hour 1 here.
All right, let's get into that. Hour 1 today is sponsored by our buddies over at Tree Pros, Inc. Are you looking for professional and reliable tree service company in DuBois County and the surrounding southern Indiana area? Whether you need to trim your trees, cut down unwanted ones, remove stumps, Clear your land.
I hate them damn strumps.
I
Those
should
strumps will
probably
get you.
start
No, keep
No,
going.
hey,
Just
it's
tell us
good for
about the
tree pro.
strumps.
Our friends over there.
Damn it.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Clear your land or mow and mulch your forest. Tree Pros Inc. can handle it all.
Tell us where they're at. They're
Yeah.
located in Jasper or Ireland, Indiana, wherever the hell they're
Well,
at,
hold
and their
on
number
now.
is.
They're fully insured and offer free estimates for any job, big or small. Call them today at 812-482-2906,
Insurance is big on them, important on them big jobs.
especially with the strumps.
I've had them at my house multiple times.
Yeah.
Lots. Cutting trees now.
'Cause
Great
that's-
work.
That's
Tree Pros of
Sawyer,
Jasper.
right?
Hit them up.
Sawyer?
Yeah, Sawyer and
Yeah.
Dave. And the whole squad.
Yeah.
The whole squad. My hour one topic is my absolute hatred for dressing formally.
I don't know why you hate it.
And let me preface this. There is nothing women go crazy for
Over
a
a
sharp dressed
sharp-dressed
man.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And I don't mind that. But with my body style,
Hard to find a sharp edge.
yes. And
A lot of rounded edges.
yeah, everybody knows there's no secrets. We're all brothers here. We're family.
I can't wait till the beach vacation.
With the mud flap, me toting around the mud flap right on the front. For all you know, the mud flap is my belly that I have to get a tall shirt, which, by the way, we're going to talk more about shirts later in the show. But just the requirements for a shirt, there's a lot of prerequisites.
Oh, yeah.
And
A lot of mechanics that go into a good tuck.
yeah. And I just hate it because the shirts and the thing that gets me is the way that dress shirts are sized.
Tough.
Yeah. So the thing that I don't like is that the sizing all goes off of your neck diameter and your sleeve length.
Yep.
And there's
And that's
so many
it.
other things.
Yeah. Like my belly, I have to have like a super duper long shirt to the point where, like, you know, those extra buttons on the bottom of a dress shirt?
Yeah.
Like I'm taking those off, sewing them back onto the front of the shirt
And
flap,
cutting buttonholes.
and then cutting a new buttonhole just so I have an extra one for when I tuck. And I got that little flare, you know, the little floof. You know how you tuck your shirt in, you give her a little floof to get you some room to where it just doesn't gap open and you can see your
Yeah,
undershirt.
and you don't want the ballistic buttons.
Yeah, no, God, no.
Well, as the one
There you go. I was hoping that you would have some input.
as the one that went suit and tie for 7 years, and I'll never go back to it. And I swear on everything holy and just that if my wife has me cremated in a freaking dress shirt, I will haunt her until the day she dies. I hate it. I always hated it. But I will say this: the problem of it is you're exactly right. It's on neck size and then your sleeve length, which I think I was about a 18, 19, and then like a 36 or 37 in sleeve.
Yeah.
And so the problem that I had is that depending on the brand of shirt is almost how you would fit in the midsection.
Yeah.
And I was very, like, early on in my career, I had like one or two suits. I did what every man does. I made a dumb mistake. I went down to Men's Warehouse, buy one, got three. Like, I did that a lot. Like, I did that once. And I apologized to Mr. Siebert because this will be a free ad read forever. Jim Siebert, Siebert's and Jasper. Like, I would just go back to him.
Yeah.
Like, he
Now,
took
do you think
such
for a
good
guy,
care of me.
you think for a guy of my stature that he could hook me
He
up?
could figure out something for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly believe it.
Yeah.
Because like we would go like
I don't have a suit. I have a jacket, like I have a blazer,
yeah.
and I have black slacks that are not of the same brand, make, or model. But I
so
could probably
and-
piece something together.
And so what happened later in my career, I had 3 or 4 suits, but I got I had a pair of khaki slacks, gray slacks, navy slacks, and I had a couple different coats. And then I would just wear that. It was more
See,
comfortable.
That's kind of how I am. I've got black slacks, khaki slacks. I have a black charcoal-y sport coat, and then I can intermix with my
But
button
depending
ups.
on the wedding you're going to, and in like most formal occasions now, you can pull off a good pair of dark denim jeans, a nice pair of dress shoes, a comfortable shirt and jacket, and nobody would look at it any different.
You're right, but my wife would.
Well, you just saying
I got to wear a tie.
There was a dude in a black baseball hat and a mullet, and then he had the really trendy looking sunglasses, and he looked cool. Like, and he was wearing.
No,
like,
you're saying that sarcastically,
no,
right?
I actually thought he looked pretty cool. Like black, he was wearing a black baseball hat to a wedding. I was like, all right. I mean,
Just no logo or nothing, just a plain ass black hat.
But he had like the cool sunglasses, and he had a mullet that is.
It wasn't Morgan Whalen.
I was getting ready to ask if it was more Waller.
Man.
But no, I just say like my absolute hatred of dressing formally. So like when I look at jobs that I've previously thought about, shout out to my buddy that I don't know, like I've always been interested in I know it sounds terribly morbid, but like mortuary science,
Yeah.
like working in the funeral business and stuff like that. Like that was the deal breaker. Like I cannot fathom wearing a suit and tie, 5 to 6 days a week.
You get so used to it though. Like
man.
listen, I could tie a tie with my eyes closed. Like you get used to wearing it. You loosen the top button. You don't put the tie on until you need to. You're not wearing the jacket all day. Like, see the thing, like when you wear them for one specific purpose for less than 4 or 5 hours.
Oh yeah.
And you're not comfortable at a wedding anyways.
No.
And that's
God,
like,
no.
I used to go, like when Janelle and I had a ton of weddings and stuff to go to, I was always like, I'm not wearing a tie. The only time I'm wearing a tie is when I'm in court. And like people come up like, why are you wearing a tie? And I'm like, because I don't have to, jackass.
Yeah.
Like
We always said like my father-in-law and like 2 or 3 of his buddies, like during wedding season, they always used to wear like not this type of wedding, but like the good old chicken eating DuBois County weddings where you're not like an active role in
which
the
our
wedding.
buddy Brandon Schaefer,
Hey,
we're gonna get you there, pal.
hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
But like they had like wedding uniforms,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
khaki pants, black polo, black shoes, and your gold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just a plain ass, you got the uniform on. Yep, same here. Got a nice pair of khaki slacks, a black polo. I'm ready to rip. Then that's it.
But like if you look at weddings around here, I don't see now the other
I
thing.
have never wore jeans to a wedding.
You should.
I've never
It's
wore jeans to a
liberating.
wedding, but I have wore shorts to a wedding.
That's crazy.
No.
Have you seen the khakis that are jeans? They're like jean styled khakis.
I've got some for work.
They're
Yeah.
nice.
I've
Yeah.
got a.
Stretchy pants.
I've
Yeah, they're
Like in the
not-
flex.
I've
Yeah.
got
Yeah,
like
there's
3 or
something
4
like that.
pair of
Oh,
Dockers
yeah, they're nice.
that are like that are more like chino like
chinos
that I
Yeah.
wear all the time. They're not dressy enough that I'd wear them
Chino.
to a
to
wedding.
a wedding, but like work with
You
a
write
polo
that down.
shirt.
I did too.
Yeah.
Chino.
But like you get so used to it, but like the wedding part, you're uncomfortable, you're sweating, you're hot, and then you jump right into shoving food down your gullet
Your
and
gullet.
beer, so you feel bloated anyways. Like the best time to wear a suit, first thing in the morning, you haven't eaten anything, you've drank a little bit of the Colombian Bam Bam coffee, and then you're ready to roll. Like that's the best way to do it. But man, it sucks, but I think you gotta like the worst part about it is like if your warden's wanting to get dressed up,
Oh yeah,
You
we're getting
can't- you can't-
gussied up.
you can't go slouching.
No.
Like Janelle throws on the little black dress.
Oof.
I can't just like I have to correspondingly. I don't even know if that's a word. I have to.
Correspondingly.
It is. We just created it. Beauty of it is when you're podcast
Smoke dog.
content
What do
creator.
you get gussied up every now and then?
I like to get like when I was teaching over there at the VUJC.
Yeah.
I'm a jeans button-up shirt and tie type of guy.
Oh yeah.
I like
Jeans and a button up with a tie.
Yeah,
Hey, what was
That's
it
my
like to
thing.
be Tim the Toolman Taylor?
freaking amazing.
I didn't know you taught. I have
Yeah,
questions.
it only lasted a year, and then I changed employers, and the new employer couldn't accommodate my.
Molding of the mind
yeah,
schedule.
they
I
couldn't-
love
yeah.
teaching, by the way.
Yeah, for
I was
sure.
a college professor as well.
Yeah, there was someone that commented on my picture that I posted whenever after the 10K.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's my college professor.
No way.
Let me look and see who it was because you'll know who. Well, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah.
But yeah, I like a shirt and tie. And wow, you look genuinely concerned.
Producer Arlo's having technical difficulties. He's
No,
back.
We're good.
It was loose. I mean, that thing was falling down. We're good.
Hey
now.
guys, we're gonna have to take a quick pause.
Yeah, me too.
And we're back from the impromptu have to piss by David Allen Smoker.
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens.
But anyway, yeah, getting dressed up is just not one of my favorite things. And I just, yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Do you think it's because some of the dress clothes you've had haven't fit you well enough?
100%.
I bet if you go to Siebert's, which again is just a ad, they're great people.
Yeah.
If you would go see Jim, I bet in the future when you do need that, you'll feel 10 times better.
Well, and it's just like a custom. I think if I went with like a custom tailored suit, like if something that was, because I cannot be the only 6'4", 395-pound human being in this world. I can't be, with a big belly and everything else. And it's like, I'm sure these big corporate America guys, I'm sure there's plenty of fat bastards in this world that have to
Well,
wear
I think
it.
a lot of it is probably how you wear your pants.
Yes.
Because I wear mine
Under the mud flap.
but I think some big fellas
Wear it over.
wear it over where the waist should be, and
but
then you don't have the
I
issues
would
that we're
have
talking
to have like a 90-inch waist, though. Like
yeah,
I
but
would,
you wouldn't have any of the because I've thought about this, and I'm the same way. I don't want to do it, but I wouldn't have the untuck issues.
no, because goddamn, or gosh darn, that would be like
everything that I wore.
belly button hair.
Well,
Like,
that's where you're
Supposed to wear pants.
is that where you wore yours? Really?
Yep.
Yeah. So like it was
Go to
adjustment.
suspenders and call it a day.
Wow.
Yeah, it was an adjustment for me when I actually went back to wearing just like regular pants with like a shirt like that. Because yeah, you would always that Jim taught me that very early on in my career of wearing clothes was like we're gonna tailor it to where it sits at your belly button.
Holy moly, man.
Yeah. And you look a lot better that way.
You think?
Yes. Wholeheartedly 100% agree.
I've never done it either because it's like weird to me. But
Yeah, it's
maybe
totally
we'll just
weird
go
to me.
and once all this Dutchman fame money starts rolling
Oh
in,
my God.
we'll go get fitted for some
Custom fit it.
Yeah.
custom fitted for
Something.
fat guy suits.
Yeah.
So
Because I'm going to need one. You
We'll
know what
get
I
it-
mean? Like
we'll
one
get
of
it-
these days,
we'll
I'm
get
gonna
it
need-
figured out.
I'm going to need
we'll get you, buddy.
Yeah.
So my thought
one.
here,
Good one, too.
fellas, I have vegetable garden envy.
Yep.
Every year around this time, every good red-blooded American that lives in this county that gardens and enjoys the outdoors, they start getting the ground worked. They've got it ready to go. Some even have some crops already poking out. And I'm not talking about farmers. I'm
No.
talking about the guy that's got the little plot in his backyard.
There's
or
a lot of
side
tomato
yard.
plants in the ground already.
And I am so damn envious because I don't have the damn time to do it. And I want to. I want to have green beans and corn and lettuce and all that stuff. And it's a potato. Like some of my youngest memories was on my mom's side. Her dad had a huge garden. He's a big garden guy. It's one of the things I remember about him most was when it came summertime, he was out in the garden every morning. He harvested whatever needed to be harvested. He tilled, he planted, he did this, he did that. And then afternoon was tea on the porch with the paper watching the hummingbirds when the Herald was still a decent paper.
A
my
simpler
God.
time of
Oh,
life. man.
Amen to that. And I have threatened Janelle, like I want an orchard. I've got a brother that's a freaking forestry guy. You would think I'd be able to get damn forestry planted, orchard planted. No, hey, that hasn't happened. He says, well, just here, pick these trees. Like, no, I want it done right where I've got a nice little orchard. I want an asparagus patch. I want a strawberry patch. I want blackberries. I want raspberries. I want like
That's
I
the
want
Just a
best,
regular
man.
old homestead.
no, almost like a mini like homestead to where you're like, yeah, I'll admit to it. And then I want a garden where you got all the classics: corn, green beans, potatoes. You get your lettuce, your radishes, all that stuff. And I just don't have the time for it right now, and I hate it. And when I was still at mom and dad's, I would do some different things, and like I would put a little garden out and like have all the energy in the world to do it, and then it just wasted away. Like just
Let
didn't
me
spend
ask
time
you,
with
was
it.
it the watering that would kill it ultimately, or was it like the weeds?
The weeds would you got to be in there hoeing that and plucking weeds every day and doing all that stuff. And I can remember as a kid, and I don't know if Chris or Corey could remember it, but like mom, like we spent a day getting the garden ready. And early on out there at 500 West, we planted some gardens out there. I mean, we had some, with corn and all that stuff. And then, just kind of learned the way of, having good sweet corn, loading it up with nitrogen and, can remember planting and cucumbers and all that stuff. But like I do, like I love it. I love the idea of it. Janelle's dad does it.
My mom's dad, Grandpa Marvin, R.I.P. God rest his soul.
Oh, yeah.
True American patriot, World War II, the whole works. He had probably one of the best gardens I've ever seen. Corn, green beans, potatoes, strawberries, tomatoes, the whole works, all of it.
Yeah.
Hoeing potatoes. I can remember as a child going out there and
doing
hilling beans.
Yeah.
We were out there hilling beans, or we were hoeing potatoes. We were hilling taters. A push behind corn planter that you walked behind, like staking the string lines and fishing the line through the string guide and getting your corn rows straight, pushing to where that wheel would drop a seed in every however many inches. The whole works. My grandpa Marvin shattered his elbow. Their garden set way up on top of a little bluff, and the road was down below. And there was a washout, and he had one of them old rear tine tillers that you stood like kind of in between the handles.
Yeah.
And the drive wheels were in the front. And you had that big ass gnarly V twin engine on the front of it. And the front wheel dropped down in a washout right on the edge of because we used every stitch of dirt we could find.
Yeah.
And that handle kind of hit him. He was in his... Man, my mom's she could probably tell you better than me. I'm guaranteed she can remember it, but I don't. But he had to be 60, maybe even early 70s, 60 something. And that sumbitch hit him and slung him down off that bank. I remember he had like 9 pins in his elbow for a long time, tilling his garden.
Is it too late? I mean, can
hell
you
no.
get
You
in
can
there?
still. I don't have my tomatoes in yet.
Yeah, like last year I did it. Like I out by the fire pit, I planted 4 or 5 tomato plants. The birds got a lot of them, but like the kids loved going out there and picking cherry tomatoes off of them.
Oh my god!
So I'll put some, and we had some peppers come off of them. But I'll do that. But it's just like when you got to start doing a lot of this. Like
it's a full-time
knee
job.
deep in baseball, and
it sucks that you can buy now. You can buy Roundup Ready sweet corn because one of the friend of the show, like farmer buddy of mine, he used to work for him a little bit in the fall. He puts out a gargantuous sweet corn patch, with his bigger cropping equipment. Like we just switch the seeds out, and this is going to be the acre sweet corn.
Yeah.
And we'll run, 24 rows wide or however, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it's sweet. It's Roundup Ready. So when you're spraying, you can just spray like normal, and it looks like a normal ass old cornfield with no weeds in it. Well, we can't do that at home, because where again, you run into the time. Justine wants to do the front yard as a yard garden. Like,
you get enough daylight there, though?
Oh, yeah, there's no trees there.
Didn't you have one blow down right there, too?
Yeah, so it opens up a lot. But anyway, raised beds.
Oh.
I'm going to I need to get old neighbor Doug over there with with some dirt moving equipment and stuff like that. Call up my old boys that love excavating, and I want to level that because there's a little bit of a hump in there.
Yeah.
I want to level that all out, and then probably put 3 to 4 nice sized raised beds in that front area, and then gravel up to them to make my driveway bigger. To where there's no mowing involved. And Justine wants to do like some wildflowers for like fillers and stuff because that front yard's a piece of shit anyway. Like it just, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, like I'm a huge proponent for gardening. I think I told you early on that I would split a garden with you if we could do it somewhere down on up on there in that flat area because we could have a hellacious garden.
Well, what I really need to do is bite the bullet, buy a 5-foot rear tine tiller, and we just rip it at once. My baseball coaching career is done. We just put one in.
Oh yeah,
and then we just
sell produce.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Or eat a lot of it.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Okra, I forgot. I love okra.
Oh no, I don't.
Did you get into canning? I feel like you have to get into canning.
Oh yeah,
but here I was thinking about that, and I thought, how cool would it be? You raise a lot of that, eat a lot of it. Yeah, you can can and save some. But how cool would that be if, like, hey, you're struggling with the grocery bill? I got a pound of green beans for you. Like, if you're true, like, not like kind of like a
charitable with it.
Yeah, like, not necessarily like a, I'm trying to like a food pantry kind of deal, but like almost like set it down at the end of the road. Hey, if you're really struggling, and you need help with something, here's a bushel.
What the hell was it? There's a church. Does Holland have it?
I don't know.
The Holland United Methodist, they have a food box.
Yeah.
Where there's always like non-perishables in there, soup, stuff like that. That'd be neat. Our neighbor at the end of the road down there, Nick Ernie.
Yeah.
Don't know if he's a friend of the show or not, but
he's a friend of the show.
Yeah, he had his whole front yard was a garden.
Yeah,
like his entire front yard, sweet corn, the whole works, all of it.
Did I tell you guys what I signed up for?
What
this year? It's called a community-sponsored agriculture farm. I forget the acronym here. Anyway, basically what happened was earlier in the year, I had a buddy approach me. Someone through the school is doing it, and basically you buy into this.
Oh,
costs you a certain amount of money, and every week you get produce.
Oh wow!
So that's cool.
Yeah, it's someone doing it on the side.
Yeah.
I paid for eggs, so I'll get a dozen eggs every week, and a chicken every week. Butcher.
Oh my!
And it's pretty sweet, but it'll be fresh veggies.
See, we did that too. I did butcher chickens. We did meat birds. We did 30 meat birds, pearl white leghorns at my house that one time. Butchered them. It's fun. I think it's neat.
And the other side of this to this homesteading operation is I've got plenty of acreage that I could fence in.
Oh yeah.
We could raise our own beef.
Goats.
What do I need goats for?
You ever had goat meat?
Oh, goats would be awesome, man.
Yeah, that's what they use for euros.
That's lamb.
Oh, it is.
But yeah, either way.
They're close. They're probably like the
goat's
same.
Delicious. But yeah, that'd be a good.
Meat goats. Big money in that.
Dave,
you like to garden?
And we've got free veterinarian advice.
Yeah.
I've always wanted it, and I've tried it a couple times, but I just can't keep.
I think it'd be the ultimate thing for you because you could drink a lot of beer gardening.
Well, so I had a big garden on the north side of the house in between us and neighbor Doug. Tried that one year, and we just got so busy with everything going on, weeds took it over.
Oh, yeah.
And then it just didn't work out. But as you guys are talking, my father-in-law, he does a really big garden with 2 or 3 of his neighbors.
Oh, yeah.
But they all had kids in sports and baseball and traveled all over. But I think, and you just hit on it, like a community garden thing.
Yeah.
Like whenever they can get together, they do. And they'll have a couple beers about it and go take care of stuff. But if somebody can't be there because, conflicting schedules, well,
we could have a hell of a one out there up on, like in that other acre. Up on the hill. Like we could put a gnarly one up there that's full sun all the time. The only thing we would have to worry about
fence it.
Getting water to it, and then we'd have to definitely do some
deer. It seems like you got a spot behind your pond there that's about a half an acre that you could probably pump water up from.
That's what I feed my deer on. I got some pets down there.
They got to eat too.
Yeah. Well, and when I
Not
lived in
sweet corn though.
when I lived in Grand Rapids for law school, the neighborhood we were in, they actually had what was a couple vacant lots, and it was actually you paid to have this was your spot in the garden.
That's cool.
And it was cool because like when we like be out I'd be out walking or on the phone talking and walking, like just whatever. You'd walk by and you'd see them, and it was cool. Like their season, like the interesting thing, their season was about a month different than what ours is.
they're way later.
Yeah, about a month. So like it would be weird, like, and up there because when it gets cold, stays cold, freezes. Like if they're not in a hurry to get, like here, you'll see crops rutted up all to hell.
Oh yeah.
Up there, they're like, we'll just wait for it to freeze and then we'll just go get it. Like
Yeah.
you'd see them harvesting in December, January.
Yeah.
You're like, that's wild, but it's like, it's frozen. It's no big deal.
That is interesting.
But yeah, I do every year. I love it. Probably some of it is the childhood part, turning over fresh dirt and
Worm buddies. When I was a kid, I can always remember my mom running the tiller. Dad was always doing string lines, or Dad would be running the tiller, and Mom would be messing with lettuce and stuff like that. And then I'd always have like a coffee can looking for worms. Worm buddies. I always called them worm buddies.
Yeah.
Just a
Big.
simpler time, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
man.
I
Big
think
garden
that's
people.
the nostalgic.
I
of
think
it.
it was like, I don't know. I think it was just like something that we all did, and I really enjoy it.
And that's what like kids raised in the city. And I was thinking about this the other day.
Yeah, they'll never get that.
They'll never understand it.
No.
So, Smoke, what you got, buddy?
It's
Going-
actually your last
Good
sentence is a
segue.
good segue. I believe all of us in here, you guys aren't that much younger than I am. Just life before internet. I remember the internet being a thing like, oh, what the heck is this? And
It'd be tough to have a podcast.
AOL would send these discs in the mail, and you'd get this CD, and you'd put it in there, and you'd get 4 free hours of internet you could play with, and the dial up, and
Get on AIM.
get on
ICQ.
AIM.
ICQ, yeah.
ICQ,
Holy
man.
cow, I forgot about
And,
that one.
We did ICQ.
But it's just crazy thinking, and that was the cool thing back then. Like you get on your instant messenger, and you could send somebody a message without like calling them on the phone when
Yep.
the phone was corded to the
Mind
wall.
blowing.
And I see my kids now on their cell phones just playing games, or we'll just search it up real quick. Like we had encyclopedias. You'd
Search
write
it
a
up.
report.
Search it up. You know how many times I've heard my
Yeah,
kids say,
search it up.
search it up?
Search it up.
That's the thing, huh?
It,
Yeah, that's a
God.
statement.
Hey, you know what would solve that? Quick
Mm.
backhand.
But that doesn't do them any good because that's where the whole world's going.
Yeah.
You don't need to be able to go in and find an encyclopedia and
No.
rummage
Do
through the
you
library,
remember the
Dewey
traveling
Decimal
salesman?
System.
Do you remember the traveling salesman?
My mom bought us not
We
a
did
whole
too.
set of encyclopedias.
We
It was
did
like
too.
called the Student's Handbook.
We got
And it was like a truncated encyclopedia
Yes.
that was only like 8 or 9
We had,
volumes.
Still have them?
My mom does.
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure my dad still has that. So.
I
Yeah.
guarantee
Yeah.
it. We had Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah.
Or
We
no,
had-
not. I don't think it was Britannica. They were green, and they were like green hardbacks with gold
Like
page
page-
binding. I guess
yeah.
you would say.
That's what we had too.
I don't know if it was Globe, World,
I think it was Globe
World something like
Encyclopedia.
that. I don't remember what the hell
Yeah.
it was, but I can still vividly remember that dude coming up to the porch, talking to mom and dad, and they were like, "Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have to have something to look up
And they
stuff
were
with."
expensive.
Oh, I'm sure
Yeah.
they were, man. I'm sure they were expensive as shit. I would
Crazy money.
I bet my parents probably don't remember how much it was, but I'll have to ask them. But we had to go to Oak Express in Evansville.
Yeah.
Do you remember Oak Express?
And
Yeah.
Get yourself a
Bookshelf. My parents went to Oak Express to get a new bookshelf specifically for the encyclopedias. And like I can remember vividly doing like little research things like in school using those like
Yeah.
when I was a kid. And I'm only 36. Like I couldn't imagine.
I think
Yeah.
like you talk about like it's. I can remember in law school, you had research and writing class, and part of it was they sent you into the stacks and like a legit law library where
Yeah.
like you crank one side to get to the other, and
No way.
like how Cooley did it is they had it on tape, and so you would walk through like this little voice in your ears would walk over to this section and pull this and locate that, because they wanted you to get used to looking up stuff in these books. And I can remember a couple of classmates, we were cutting it up, and it's like, is this not the dumbest thing to do? Because none of us are going to have the library available to us to do this legal research. And then, like, you figure out, like, because these companies try to sell you their products, and Cooley had it for free, where you could use a company called Westlaw Next. Westlaw is a big one, Thomson Reuters. But we used Westlaw, and it was Westlaw Next was the new one that was more Google-like, where you could type in, let's say you could type in domestic battery, however you would phrase it or however you'd do it, domestic battery, gun rights. And it would pull and look up everything in your query that you needed. And it's just like, why would we, like, we wasted, I mean, legitimately, like this class, it required you, and each session was like an hour long, and there was like 10 or 12 that you'd go through, and we'd look at each other and we'd be like, this is stupid. And you had this little study guide you went through. And when I got into private practice and was out on my own, no, never.
How much do you think they were? I found out the price in 1990. How much do you think
I bet they were.
The Britannica, that was probably
They were the blue ones. That was Britannica blue.
Or were they maroon?
I don't have that. It was.
I think the ones that were
encyclopedia
32 volumes. Give me a cost. What do you think?
I'm gonna say
$1,600.
I was gonna say 1,200
because I think the student handbook thing was like $850.
Throw a number out there, Mace. We got 16, 12.
I couldn't see my parents spend. I don't know, but then again, I don't know.
I mean, even at $50 a book, you're
$850.
$1,500.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
I was over.
Oh, sorry. Are we doing prices right?
Price is right.
So I won.
Hey, there you go. But no, it's 32 volume set in 1990 was $1,500.
That's crazy.
So,
Well, and like some of the problem as a parent with young children, I don't see it yet.
No.
But like I see it with these kids, like coaching kids. And like I can remember when the Fortnite craze was all about it.
Oh God, my kid's doing it now.
But some of it cycles out with some of these older kids. They move on to other things. But like they don't know how to find anything anymore. Because they either ask mom or dad or they go right to their phone.
My son knows more about, like, if anything that they're going to gain, I think they're going to be, like, I've always been told that I have a very incredible wealth of useless knowledge.
I would agree with that.
And I think it's just because, like, when you work at I credit a lot of it to my coal mining days. Because when you're stuck in a big ass hole in the ground with, 50 people for 12 hours, you got to find something to do to pass your time. And back then we all had CBs and we used to talk a lot. And we would talk a lot about everything. I mean, we would go hunting, we'd go fishing, we'd go gardening, we'd go squirrel hunting, we'd go talking about, legal stuff or divorces or spending money.
You guys probably had some deep.
Right, man.
You probably know a lot more about people than you imagine.
Yes, a lot. Like the best counseling. I don't know how many times people would say, people pay thousands of dollars for marriage counseling and just think you're getting it all for free right here while making money. And that's true, because there's been plenty of times where, who knows what your wife was doing when you were out there at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning in a big hole in the ground. You're getting the best, you're getting the best marital counseling you can get. But anyway, what I'm saying is my kids now, like, if you just some stupid ass fact about a stupid ass animal that I've never heard about in my life. And Max is like, oh yeah, that's blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what? Like, how do you know that? And he's like, I don't know. Just searched it up one time.
But as good as it is,
searched it up.
As much as it is for good, I think it's also very devastating.
Yeah.
Like, do you think about, like, not going to go too much into detail, but do you remember like the old awkward, like, parents have the talk with their children, the birds and the bees chat?
We bought books for their birthday this year for it.
Oh,
My 10-year my twins just turned 10, and we bought them books, like small paperback books with pictorial diagrams, and they were called like Discovering Your Body or something, like, or The Big Change or whatever.
but they don't need it because they just type on.
I don't think so. I don't think my son is. I've never checked his browser history, but honest to God, like I like even still to this day, like if we're watching something on Netflix or something on TV or whatever, and you got a girl that's like shaking her ass in a bikini or some shit, like he noticeably looks away still. And then like my daughter, if there's a scene in a movie where people are kissing, they're out. Like, you know what I mean? Or like if me and the warden decide to smooch a little, like, hey, honey, have a good day at work.
Hey,
And
savoring a little bit of that flavor on the stash.
like, hey, honey, give me a kiss before you go to work, type thing, you know. And they're like, oh, quit it, you know. So I don't, even at 10 years old, I don't think they're there yet.
You want to know where that changes? You want to know where that changes?
Probably middle school.
It is 8th and 7th grade.
Yeah.
We will have early workouts in the gym, and the cheerleading squad sometimes will be practicing. And the cheerleading squad will sometimes come down and like their sports bras and short shorts. And like, it is like, I wish they would get dressed and come down instead of just practices over and walk through. But there's that, they probably know that there's somebody.
It takes a while for you guys to lock back in after that parade.
But no, but the 8th grade, it's the 8th grade kids. You'll see them and they'll be like, oh my gosh. Like the 7th and 6th grade kids still playing grab ass with each other. Yeah. No clue what's going on.
I mean, it's funny that you say grab ass, but like I mean, I can remember, you know, maybe pursuing a little bit in the 8th grade, like, because you know,
you're a good looking cat.
You go to, because when do you go to Washington D.C.?
8th grade.
Yeah,
8th grade.
I can remember pursuing a little bit on that, you know, in that era. You know what I mean? But I think if our kids, like, I think it's funny now, from a punishment standpoint. If you don't get your ass in there and you clean that freaking room, I'm going to unplug the router for the rest of the week. And it's like, no, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't, I'm going to take your laptop and throw it in the lake. I don't know how many times I've said that. 1,000. You know what I mean? And it's like, my parents didn't say, I'm going to take that set of encyclopedias and put a lock around it, you little shithead. There's no way you're getting it.
$1,500.
Yeah. Like you're grounded from your bicycle. You're not allowed to go down to Ian's and play baseball. You're not allowed to do this. I think it's wild. The punishment's different now.
But I think some of it that
no TikTok for a month.
Well, but I think things they all come and go and they're cyclical. And that you will see, like, as parents, like...
Cyclical.
There you go.
Cyclical. Sickle cell. I don't know.
Tough spot.
But, like, I think when you have people like Elon Musk telling you, like, hey, you know, technology is kind of bad for kids. And, hey, like, this artificial intelligence is kind of bad for what we have going on. Yeah. I think you'll see, like, I hold out and hope that you'll see, like, and it'll be like our age generation where we tell our kids, like it's just not going to happen. Like,
so the internet come and then we're going to see it go.
Yeah. You think so?
Oh, yeah. I don't.
Well, I think to a certain extent, like, think about how much you do on the internet now. The internet now is not like it used to be where you had to type in a website and go.
Yeah.
Like, it is where information is condensed that you can see a lot of it at a little time.
Yeah.
Your Twitters, your Facebooks, your social medias, your different things like that. So, like, I think the internet has changed from where you went and typed in, www.polarbears.com to learn about polar bears and everything that's going on with them. Like, now you're changing to where those things are.
I think your Googles, your Yahoos, your MSN, like all your big search engines, they're the ones that have revolutionized.
I honestly, I know we're running out of time on this one. I guess I condone that. I don't know how many times Wesson's So he's got a PC, he likes the video games. Dad, this happened. I don't know what to do. Come help me. Well, have you looked it up? I was like, there's YouTube videos on everything.
Oh, no,
and I'm not
I
scared
get
to
that.
do anything anymore because I can
Yes.
search, like, my
Search
DIY
it
went
up.
to another level because, okay, somebody out there has made some sort of documentation, whether it be written or a video, that I'm mechanical and technical enough that I can figure it
Which
out
you
with
are.
a little bit of
You are.
instruction.
And I
So-
feel
I
like,
push my boys to be that way. Like, hey, if there's a problem, what's crying to me going to do?
yeah.
Come to me with some possible solutions, and then we'll figure out the
Look
best
at that
one.
shit.
But
Well,
He's molding the minds of future
Yeah, but
He's
you know
raising
what,
little,
though?
little engineers right there.
but you know, like you kind of miss hanging out with the old man, figuring out how to change
Holding
that
the
brake line.
flashlight and getting
Yeah.
mother effed every time you move.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I've told you, boy, quit moving your damn
and you're right.
That was
I
a
wonder
great
about that
assistant.
because they miss some of that, like one-on-one. But my opinion is I try to push for the independence, and if they have the resources available, learn how to use what's there, whether it be tools in a toolbox or tools in your phone. Because
Yeah.
I can figure this out. I don't need somebody to hold my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Because who knows? I could die of a heart attack
Whoa,
tomorrow.
whoa, pump the
No,
brakes,
yeah, don't
bro.
talk that kind
we
of
don't talk
stuff.
I'm
about
just
that
saying it could
crazy
happen.
shit.
I want
But-
them boys to
Well,
be
yeah,
like,
this whole shop could get struck by lightning, and the
Yeah.
holy grail of trumpets could come down, and we're all
Yeah,
gone.
that's
But who,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
who knows?
That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
Arlo would probably survive.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would.
Why?
I don't know. One of us has to survive to tell the
Yeah,
story.
to tell the story.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Am I the closest to the door?
no, I
Yeah.
don't know how that works
Well, you're
out.
probably the fastest out of all three.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got pretty good 10-yard speed.
He's quick out the line.
I'm quick.
There ain't no chance.
I'm very quick.
I think there's a 4-man race coming up
He
for
played
10 yards.
offensive guard in high school.
Okay.
You have to be the most athletic
fine.
fat kid you can be.
Yeah, and I am.
And you didn't play football.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I was on the
10-yard
pitch.
dash. I'm going to write that down.
No.
I was on the pitch.
We'll
what
do
I-
a race one day on camera, and I guarantee you Arlo will smoke your doors.
Speaking of races, our buddy, because the boys at DuBois County Block and Brick will appreciate this.
Oh, yeah.
We have an annual tradition with a couple friends. One of them happens to be Leroy Vogler. And our buddy Brandon Schaefer, we've already talked about him.
Yeah.
We were in French Lick for a little bar hop turkey trot, and they have a speed gun or the speed limit thing.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so them jackasses, Clint Hopf was on board too, raced each other to see who had the fastest mile per hours. And it actually bled over to, this is when we took Monty to doggy daycare. Over there at doggy daycare, they raced on the Jasper Riverwalk. It was that contentious. But yeah, old Lee, I think they still argue about who was faster.
Who was it?
It was Lee and Schaaf. They raced each other.
Wow.
But
Faster
it started
than Clint?
But well, Clint's got them bad knees.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. He
He's
is big
tall.
as a barn,
Yeah.
too.
It
He's
takes a
tall
lot
boy.
to get going. So, but yeah, that'd be interesting. But I think part of the where technology wears away a little bit is teaching our children how to do something.
Yeah.
And like my dad, God love him, salt of the earth, knows a lot of different things, but like I struggle with how to do something. Like I will be the first one to admit I am not very mechanically inclined.
Right.
And like I curse myself a lot, or it's like I wish I could do this, I wish I could do that, and he just, and he'll say, "Well, you just first off, just shut up, like quit bitching about it, just do it, do the best you can." Like that's how I learn, that's how I do it. But like we weren't like I don't know how to weld. I'd love to know how to weld, but
See,
like
I can do that. I can.
like that kind of stuff. Like I don't know. And like when we built our house down there, like it was such a great. Because I'd worked in construction and we did a lot of that work by ourselves, and
Oh, yeah.
it was great spending that time doing that. And we used YouTube to look up how to wire a 4-way switch and a 3-way switch, and running those circuits on some things. But there's just something about being there with somebody you look up to,
Yeah.
and working on fixing a problem
Because
together.
even in just capitalizing on what David said, you're not just giving them the answer. Like you're helping them figure it out because you know.
You're leading them to the water.
That's right. Hey, but you know what? One thing you don't have to have a shit ton of electricity or electronics and modern engineering and like all these new fandangled internets and all that shit
What's
to do.
that?
Go to the buffet.
Go to the barbershop.
Oh, the barbershop.
Oh,
Wrong
yes,
beat.
sir. We've been working hard, and so has our next sponsors, Maxey's Barbershop. So let's take a pause for the cause, brought to you by Maxey's Barbershop, a full-service barbershop located right in the thick of it in Huntingburg, Indiana. The shop offers a variety of services, including traditional haircuts, beard trims, and much, much more. Jay Maxey, the owner of the shop, has over 20 years' experience and is committed to delivering exceptional service to his clients. The shop also offers a unique vacuum cut system that eliminates hair mess. What's even better is that you don't even need to book an appointment, as Maxey's Barbershop only does walk-ins. So stop in when it's convenient for you. Go see him on 13th Street in Huntingburg and tell Jay the Dutchman sent you.
Be right back.
Dutchman app.
Hey! And we're back. Big
We
thanks
are
to
back.
Jay Maxey at Maxey's
Yeah,
Barbershop
our
for hooking
buddy
us up
Jay.
with that pause for
We
the cause.
appreciate
We needed it.
Yeah. we
Holy
really did.
moly. Hey, and you know what? Jumping right into hour two,
Let's do
I
it.
am ready to rip. Hour
Let it
two,
rip, Tater Chip.
welcome back to the second hour of our show. But before we dive in, let me tell you about a sponsor for this hour.
Tell us about it.
Catering by Meyer.
Oh, boy.
If you're looking for a delicious, hassle-free way to feed your guests at your next event, look no further than our friends at Catering by Meyer. They offer a variety of mouth-watering menus from appetizers to desserts. They can suit any taste or budget. Whether you need a casual buffet, a formal plated dinner, or anything in between, Catering by Meyer has you covered. Catering by Meyer is the perfect choice for weddings, corporate events, birthdays, anniversaries, or really any occasion that calls for great food and service. Give our friends Bubba and Jared Feltner at Catering Meyer a call and tell them the Dutchman sent you.
All right. Yeah.
So my first topic is something that's kind of been irking me lately.
Ooh.
Talk to us, buddy.
And I deal with this on a daily basis because it's in my job description.
Okay.
Squirrels.
Nope.
Old ladies following you in cars.
Littering.
Littering in, littering in.
I can't pull over any further.
Yeah.
So,
Living and
I think-
smoking the reefer.
Now people would probably call me a
Sweetheart.
hypocrite.
Oh,
Maybe.
Oh.
So
I
in
would
my
say that'd
in
probably
my-
be a fair
in my,
assessment.
In my
Oh, wow.
only strictly for this topic,
Yes.
CSer.
Yes.
My
CSer.
In my former my former career,
Mm-hmm.
Roll coal.
basically worked in a big landfill.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like, I mean,
it out
it was a thing, you know, like you back then, you know, like disposal of waste, like materialistic waste, not chemical or biohazard. Like if you had a
McDonald's cup. The old
yeah,
Mac D's
or
cup.
like if you had an old deep freeze or
Jesus.
not a deep freeze, maybe that's a horrible experiment. That's a horrible,
with bodies in it.
Yeah, or like just like you know,
Just bury it.
we had a spot in the mine that was going to be at least 75 to 80, maybe 100 feet deep in the ground.
Just think of the archaeologists in 4,000 years.
Oh, I know, right? Anyway, so but like littering, it was a thing.
And-
I actually received a littering ticket.
At the mine?
Really?
No.
Oh.
The mine.
It was
police
on
get you?
Highway 231 south of Lagodi. I got pulled over by a conservation officer because I know it's going to be a big shock to everyone in this world that's listening to this,
Threw
but
a beer can.
Wendy's bag.
Oh.
I'm looking this up on my case right
A
now.
Wendy's bag blew out of my truck, and I got pulled over because I was speeding excessively. And the guy's like, "All right, I'll give you two choices. You can either take the littering ticket for the Wendy's bag, or you can take the speeding ticket. You
Can
pick."
conservation officers hand out speeding tickets?
100%. They have more
They can hand
jurisdiction and
out
power than
everything
a
a
state police
regular
officer.
cop can, and they need less. Yeah,
Well, yeah.
They
I
have
mean,
more jurisdiction and power than a state police officer.
absolutely.
Look, I mean, I know it's blowing your mind right now.
No,
but,
it's not blowing my mind.
But anyway,
'cause
I said, which one's cheaper? And he said, I'm not telling you. You pick littering or
You
speeding.
can't. Your insurance isn't going to get dinged for littering. That's
I
what
know,
I'd
but I
thought.
took speeding because that was an
deferral.
easy deferral program. A
It
little
costs.
bit more money. But you know what the cheapest littering ticket is?
$500.
Oh yeah, it's way more than a speeding ticket deferral. I tell you that. With that being said, man, just recently, and it's not like it's something that's just jumping out at me, but recently, I have noticed like just blatant disregard for not only the environment, because I used to guilty as charged. We used to call, like, we would, I know it's a hard R word that we're not supposed to use, but it's rape. Like, we used to rape the earth every day, like a coal miner. What a beautiful day to rape the earth and extract coal from the mother, or something. Like, somebody always used to say that. But people, like, how you get like a Walmart bag or a grocery sack or a Dollar General bag or something that you got floating around in your truck, and you clean your trash out, once in a while. Like, I mean, obviously you guys, just trash ever accumulate in your vehicle?
Absolutely.
Yes. So, like, whether it's a Coke bottle or a
Wendy's
bag or a candy bar wrapper or a Mingy's beef jerky sack that's empty that you've literally ate the bottom out of.
Brian.
And you put these things in this Walmart sack, and then, like, when you go get gas or when you get home, or you take said bag of collected litter and then you put it in the proper receptacle, right? There is a couple of spots in Huntingburg that these said litter bags full of said litter are always found. Like, there's got to be like one or two culprits that do it all the time. And I just wonder how, without putting hours and hours and hours of stakeout time in, how would you stop or find said individual?
Well, first thing I would do,
Look for receipts in the bag.
Well,
Yeah.
I did. I have. Or mail. Yeah, nothing.
2, like our good buddy Todd McComas would teach us, look for surrounding Ring doorbells or other type of surveillance.
Yeah.
Because especially if it's an area, Ring doorbells in such popularity
Yeah.
that you could go knock on a house and say, hey, this is wild, but this is a spot where trash is dumped.
Yeah.
Could you go through your Ring doorbell and see if you could look? So
Right.
that's what I would really do. But the third thing, if anything we learned from our good buddy Todd McComas, is sometimes you can't rush good police work.
Right.
And so I think you would just
So
legitimately-
can I tell you a little bit of, I'm building a case.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where I listed, I don't know if you read my topic on the drive, but it says cigarette butt bandit, littering. So littering was only really the second part. The cigarette butt bandit, now that is a pretty big deal.
there is nothing more
gross.
that chaps my ass than some son of a bitch cruising down the road and he flicks his freaking cigarette out the window
Okay.
and bounces back into your vehicle.
Okay. Now listen to this one.
This is just somebody dumping their ashtray.
There is a certain intersection in our beautiful city, Huntingburg, that once in a great while, this individual at the same spot every time will dump probably, I have photos on my phone that would prove to be maybe a carton's worth or maybe even a carton and a half's worth of smoked to the filter cigarette butts.
What kind of cigarette?
It would be a, so I'm only using name brand because I don't smoke cigarettes and it's been a long time since I've smoked a cigarette, but it would be like the Camel, like a brown filter, like the brown with white speckles. Like
so it could be Winston's too.
It could be
Camels
like
or
a
Winstons.
Marlboro Red or like a Camel, something other than like a Marlboro Light was a white filter.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's got
Or
the
like-
brown paper with the white speckles.
Yeah. Brown paper with a white speckle. That's the kind of butt that this person, I shouldn't even gender them, this individual is dealing in. And I'm
what part
talking-
of town is this being found in?
Well, I don't know if I should give that
I
away.
think you should.
Yeah, you should.
Well, but do we want to bust the son of a bitch or do we not?
No, I want to bust the son of a bitch.
So
Yeah.
I think
Do you
that
know
there's a
who it
lot of
is?
info.
No, I don't. We don't know. And we've
Have you
also
thought about collecting one of the cigarette butts and seeing if our friends at HPD would run it through a little DNA analysis?
Well,
I think that's
I
even
don't-
farther than we need to go. What day are you finding these butts on?
I don't know. It's so intermittent that I don't know. It's tough to tell.
I bet it's off of a cycle of carton purchasing. So it's probably not going to be the same day, but I bet it's like every 4 days or 7 days.
No.
or
It's
14.
way longer than that. It's probably, but, and now when I say carton, maybe it's 2 cartons, maybe it's 4 cartons. I don't know what a carton, because they're not smoking every single cigarette out of that carton in their car.
Right.
So whatever time they spend in their commute, and they smoke in their car, and they don't throw the ashtray out. But all I'm saying is this said receptacle
It's huge.
is gargantuous. Something that I could not even fathom the smell.
Well, you know what it is.
Ice cream bucket?
No, they're in the early thousands.
Oh,
They made
the
what
old
looked
butt
like
cups?
the butt cups, and they were the size of a big, like Tervis cup.
Holy cow.
So that's the first thing you got to start looking in windows. I'd say you're
don't know about
probably
how-
looking for a 2000s Oldsmobile.
Oh, okay. Now this is just profiling based on here. So we're looking at some sort of domestic
May have
4-door sedan.
cats.
2000
They have
sedan.
cats
We're
or a
looking at
dog.
some sort of 4-door sedan,
And I'll tell you why it's a sedan, not a truck, because nobody in a truck. When
They
you're
just
closer
flick
to
'em
the
as they
well,
cruise.
you're too high off the ground.
Yeah.
You never want to dump that big of a receptacle from that high off the ground because it's more noticeable. But when you're riding low to the ground, you can crack a door open and dump that out at a stop sign.
David,
or a
I'm
parking
talking
lot.
there's 250, 300 cigarette butts in one pile.
Mhm.
It's
so we're not at
insane.
a stop sign. We're in a parking lot.
No, we're in a stop sign. 231 and Chestnut.
Is this
No,
where it's happening?
64 and Chestnut.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Right up the top of hill by Skyline Diesel.
That is
Right?
ballsy.
Yeah, right when you come up, if you're going, it's always
It's a semi. It's a trucker.
No, because
then. Yes, it is.
that's a no truck route. It's on the south
somebody
side
that
of the
works at
intersection.
OFS.
Somebody that's coming north on
They could work
Chestnut
at Master
Street.
Brand.
So
They're
they're going.
coming north.
They're going north on Chestnut Street. They go past 4th, go up the hill,
Yeah.
come down over the hill, right? You come to the stop sign. You're going to take a right to go to CVS.
Yeah.
You're going to take a left to go to Niehaus Trail and the golf course.
Yeah.
Or you're going to go straight to go down the hill to Skyline Logistics. It's always in the straight lane on the driver's side on that line. So there's a turn lane, a straight lane, and the old, like Arlo's already got the Google Earth.
Yeah.
Yep, there we are right there.
It is somebody.
It's
I bet,
always in that intersection
So
right
it isn't
there.
a sedan.
I bet.
So
you,
we're looking for a sedan.
I honestly bet that you probably be out there. You would check what time the local factories start because it's a high
I'd say
probability.
5:30 in the morning.
It's
you'll
a high
find 'em.
probability you're going to OFS or you're going to Master Brand.
Yeah. And I tell you what, if this human being just blatantly dumps this sumbitch out in the middle of the day or like whenever they want,
It's early in the morning.
they got balls of steel. So I'm thinking it's either an overnight guy or a second shifter somewhere
Yeah.
that's getting off to where there's not much traffic and there's not much stuff going on.
I think we
but
got. I think we
Could
got a
be a
case.
We
UPS
got a stake
driver.
out
We got
here.
a case
Huh?
going.
Could be a UPS driver.
Well, no, because
No,
they don't
they're
start
not
till
allowed to
9 in the
smoke.
morning.
I don't think they can smoke in their units,
but
can
they can go. Yeah, they can. I believe they can. Well, I don't think
we
there's
don't know
anything.
the rules.
I
of
don't
that.
think there's anything stopping them. But it could be a late evening, not an early morning.
Well, I don't know. All I know is it is a bucket full of
sedan
cigarette
or a
butts.
UPS
So much so
vehicle.
that like it's a running thing amongst us street department guys. Several other people in Huntingburg have noticed and commented on social media
Why haven't we
pages.
put a game camera out there?
Well, I may or may not know, but you imagine how many photos you would have to sift through.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of photos.
You know how many people go through that intersection on a daily basis?
You almost want a camera so that you can see when it happens and then go back from there and be like, okay, it was here, 7 this morning. Let's go back in time. We almost need like a continuous running camera.
Oh my God.
Well, just stick your Ring camera out there.
They don't continuously run, and you would need service.
Motion detected at the front door.
You almost need like a
Motion detected in the side yard.
I think that here's what you do.
I just
Here's
cannot-
what you do. You take one of those cigarette butts
Mm-hmm.
and you turn it over to 23andMe, because then you can get.
Well, I don't think you
Their
can do that
ethnic
as a
profile.
civilian. Like, I don't think
23andMe?
You could, but I don't think that they're going to like swab a cigarette butt for saliva.
No, but you re-engineer that by kind of moistening that thing.
With what? Like a COVID test with the control, and you got to squeegee the thing out?
Yeah, baby.
No, hear me out
God,
though.
Milk that
Because
Q-tip.
all you do with that is just put it in your mouth and move it around, right?
Oh, is that right?
Just put it in there and jiggle it around.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't understand how you could harvest that. Like, I think we would have better luck if we like maybe sent it up north to our buddy Todd, and he could maybe use some of his connections and get a DNA match.
It's too busy even before work for somebody to do that. It's
for
a
the love of
third
Christ.
shifter
Oh
or
God,
somebody
All right,
leaving a
Dave,
bar
that's
going
what I
home.
said.
How often does it happen?
I don't know. It's weird. Like
Monthly.
once every couple months. It's weird. It's
So
totally.
it would be hard to find.
Yeah, it'd be tough to nail down. But you know when they do it.
Unless it's a Parks Department worker and they got a cigarette.
No, ain't
can
nobody
on their
down at the
side
park
by
that
side.
smokes. Ain't nobody down there that smokes.
Okay.
There's really not anybody in the city anymore that smokes.
Because the city's smoke-free property.
Well, yeah,
and
and
who
there's
smokes
pretty
anymore?
big benefit for a non-tobacco user.
Yeah.
But anyway,
There's probably more people that smoke than what you think.
yeah, that's my topic is just people that blatantly litter. It just blows my
Can
mind.
I pose a question?
Yeah.
When I'm cruising down the interstate and or highway, and I'm eating an apple or a banana.
Oh, you're good.
Okay.
Biodegradable.
I tell my kids
Worms.
if it's something that came from the ground,
Yeah.
throw it out.
Yeah. We throw banana peels out. We throw apples out. We throw
Pizza crust.
pizza crust. We throw uneaten cheeseburger, like half-eaten cheeseburgers. We throw, if it's in the right spot, we can throw chewing gum, but we don't throw chewing gum in town.
Yeah, where people walk in.
Like we dump ice cubes out on the ground and stuff like that. But
I'll dump drinks out.
yeah, I'll dump drinks out. You know, normally like if you're in the drive-through somewhere and you're getting ready to get a new cup and you got half of a cup left, you're gonna ditch that, put that empty cup in your trash can, get ready for your new one.
Yep.
You're shaking your head because you know you do it. Every human being does. We do not throw trash out the window. We do not.
Now,
Now,
are you
listen.
a gum wrapper guy? Like some people look at like what the wrappers
No.
like
No,
Orbit
they
gum.
go on the floor back. The biggest extent of my littering now. I used to be terrible. Matt Noblet's probably going to be rolling in his grave, or he's
Well, he's still alive.
yeah, not in his grave because
Rolling
he's totally.
into his house.
He's probably rolling, and his skin is probably crawling right now, knowing that I'm saying that I'm not a big litterer because we used to litter a lot. Like I was a shit bag for a short bit of time in my life when it came to the littering thing. And I think I already covered that because I attributed that to my previous career. I will throw a straw wrapper out, like a paper.
Yeah.
Like a paper biodegradable straw wrapper, like that. Maybe that'll go out the window. If a really full green snotty
Napkin.
no, like a Kleenex or something like that, like something that's going to biodegrade, a guarantee of the first time it rains, you know, something like that. But like anything that's plastic or manufactured paper, no, ain't happening.
Did you see? I don't know if the Subway in town's doing it, but
Oh,
the
yeah,
Subway
paper
in French
sacks.
Lick-
I got one
And I
this
like
week.
it. I
I
love
do
it.
too. I like it
it.
too. Yeah.
Glad.
Anyway,
Yep. That's a.
we got some stuff to work on here.
some
We got
stuff we gotta work
2000
on.
sedan.
I
Remember that
cannot
one.
wait till someone figures out who this is, or this.
Somebody calls in and says it's
This
me.
turns
asshole,
into-
we're going to
come
kick him
find
in the
me.
shins because I've had to shovel them up into a bucket before, and I do not like it.
You guys got one of them big vacuums you can come by and just.
We got a
suck
street
it up?
sweeper, but yeah, we're not going to get the sweeper out just to go suck up one pile of cigarette butts.
Should though.
Yeah.
All right. So my second topic
God love it.
is now that we're kind of past where you have the big temperature variance where you get severe weather. I'm talking about, you know, the tornado. I mean, you still possibly.
Yeah, we're still in there, but yeah, I
But-
know what you're saying.
But when we get away from like, you know, the traditional tornado season or what may be going on, like, I love it when you have that good old fashioned thunderstorm. It is a sign of summer when you have that just good old fashioned
So
shake the house kind of thunder and lightning.
this past Sunday morning,
Yeah, perfect.
which would have been, according to my calculations, it would have been like May the 7th, 2023.
That'd be correct.
We had at about 7:15 in the morning, I guess it would have been 7:30,
Strangler.
somewhere in there. We had a good old fashioned, like
Gully
you said,
washer.
gully washer, toad strangler, foundation rumbler,
Yeah.
and it hailed so much that it the ground was white. Like Justine.
I got pelted at 8 in the morning taking White to church. I got my coffee.
Okay,
and
then maybe it was a
hailed.
little later than 7:15. I just remember that it hailed like a son of a buck.
Yeah, about pea size.
So much, so much that Justine was like, "Oh my God, look outside," and I did, and it was like the whole ground was white,
Right.
and I think that's hilarious. Like I think it's awesome. Like it's terrible for your vehicle and your roof and everything, but I love it, man. Thunder and lightning and those big. I mean, obviously we don't want nothing to get struck by lightning and catch on fire and anything terrible.
I mean, we're not talking about somebody getting hurt or harmed in this good old fashioned thunderstorm.
Right.
I sat on the front porch and watched some of the lightning come in and just thoroughly enjoyed my morning.
Oh man,
Because it had moved out that it was close enough that you could smell it,
Yeah. Oh,
but I wasn't getting rained on under the front awning there.
yeah.
We,
I love 'em.
as a child growing up in growing up in Holland, but like my grandparents always had a pool. Wild Bill and Grandma Lois, they had a pool, and we would go up there. Mom and Dad, and when Cody was a baby, we'd go up there all the time, and I can remember it being so stinking hot in the summer that we would have to go up to the co-op and buy like literally 40, not 40, that's stupid. We would literally buy like 10 or 15 bags of ice and put it in the pool to cool the water temp down because it was so stinking hot. And then later in the evening, like it would be like the sirens going off, like a freaking thunderstorm would come, and Grandpa Bill would be out there on the porch smoking cigarettes, looking out to the west, saying, "Yep, here it comes. Look at here now. Look at these big shelf clouds. See that right out there, boy? That there is a big one. You know, it'll be here any minute. I guarantee you." And then the sirens will start going off. See, told you. Here, you better get your ass down the basement. You know what I mean? And like and then like going to the park. Like the city park in Huntingburg, which there was a lot more trees in the city park then than there were now. And like, yeah, man, I have so many cool thunderstorms. I used to be a huge, which we covered this earlier, or in the previous shows, but I used to be a huge weather weenie. Yeah. Scared to death.
I love it. I do
too.
Now.
I love it now. And my kids hate them.
Yeah.
Scared to death. If you even say the word tornado, no way.
Most of the time, 80% of the time, I'd say, if we got bad weather coming here, it's coming from the southwest.
Mm-hmm.
So we can sit in the shop with the doors open, and you might get a little bit of rain coming in.
Yeah, a little recycle there.
It's good to sit in here, and this is a good storm watch.
I bet this is a good spot. Yeah.
Out there on our neck of the woods, on the hill there,
neck of the hill,
we've got a good westward facing porch and a northern facing porch. And to your point, where the weather comes in, especially like towards the evening when like if the kids are down and thunderstorm sneaks in, sit out there and just watch it come in. Janelle and I, we were working on the house, so we were engaged, not married yet, and we could see it raining at almost like a 45-degree angle coming across the field. And we're just sitting there watching like, oh, how cool. And then a little bit closer, how cool. And then it just, unloaded. But I love watching it come in.
You know how 90% of the storms that we get seem to always come at night?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in the evening time or the dark time, when the storms are the worst.
Well, they kick up in southeastern Missouri and through that area.
Yeah. They always, so at the mine, we always, like working at Francisco, we always had it down to a T. Like if it was raining in St. Louis at starting time, you could guarantee that it would be raining at the mine by midnight.
Yeah.
And it was like clockwork. Like it was always 3 hours. Like if you could look at St. Louis weather and say like if you look at the radar and that band of storms is pushing through St. Louis or right around in that area by midnight, or 3 hours from that time is when it was going to get to the mine over there. And it was, we see some crazy shit at night, like storms coming in, especially in that area, because it's all flat. There's tornado. Remember when Du Bois County got hit when Kriego? We were talking about this before. Yeah. Kriego had his celebrity debut on the news there. There was like 8 or 9 confirmed tornadoes touched down in Du Bois County in one summer. And I can remember one of them. I was working at Somerville on night shift, and there was a drag line that sat idle at Linville, and it actually swung that machine. And it didn't have, it was the power of those storms are crazy.
Yeah.
But I like sitting out and watching them now.
It's a good pastime. Kids don't like them. Dogs don't like them. I don't mind. They don't. I just enjoy them.
I've never had a dog that really seemed to care about them.
Well, it could be just Monty and Murphy want to pant in your face for whatever reason. I don't know. They're pretty good at that. That couple weeks ago when I was sick and Janelle screaming at the dogs because they're panting. I'm like, I wish you both would just shut up. I'm trying to freaking sleep.
I'm surprised you don't have thunder jackets.
Oh, no. Thunder blanket, Thunder Buddy.
So, official sign of warmer weather and summer coming.
Yeah.
And you can feel it almost in the morning. You're like, we're going to get a storm.
Oh, yeah.
And sure as the world,
you can smell it like tonight. Like David said, it smells like drunk out here. This is like the time of the year when it's like it's not super hot, but it's like it's summertime. We're all in t-shirts. Have you had your air conditioner on at home yet?
Oh yeah,
I just bought the filter today when I bought the new Super Shitter 6000.
We don't have it. We don't have AC at home.
Okay, well let's not discuss that because I want to use it for a topic.
Okay, but so like it's like you can start smelling it, like you can smell the rain coming, and then like I don't know, man. Like it's time, and they're going to start happening more frequently.
Yeah,
and I like them.
Smoke, what you got?
I think we kind of hit on this a few weeks ago or a couple episodes ago, however you want to say it. But I got talking about it with some guys at work about how when my lovely bride, who I think probably folks have figured out, she is a nurse and has always been a nurse for babies or new mothers. And I remember I was telling how, the first child that came, we're sitting there and they take her and prep her. She had to have a C-section for, those reasons don't matter, but she had to have a C-section.
Right.
And so they take her in there and they put this, like a guard, a curtain up.
It's called the dad wall.
So I can see her from here, and then everything else is behind the curtain. And she's talking to me. Like she's fully coherent and awake. She's like, "Are you excited?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And she's like, "Okay, well, there's a smell." I'm like, "Jenna, shh, it's fine, babe." She's like, "Well, no, it's like your insides. They're going to cut me open." I'm like, "Jenna, shh." Because like I'm a smell guy anyway. And she's sitting here and her arms are strapped back and she's like, "Are you excited?" I'm like, "No." And she starts talking about it and I see her whole body jostling as she's explaining to me.
Yeah.
Well, so they got to pull my intestines and then, you got to scoot the liver out of the way. And then they get to the baby and they pull the baby. And it just blew my mind that the whole miracle of life, okay, you got a body that's alive because you're feeding it water and food and it's carbon-based. And she's alive and her heart's beating and they just splayed her open. And she's like giving me the play-by-play of what organ she thinks they're pulling out and tossing.
Have you never heard me? I told this story before.
I think we covered this.
Yeah.
And it just blows my mind. And then he gets into all these other like
awake
emergencies.
During surgery. No way, I'm out. Don't touch my liver, you son of a bitch.
like
that is what the top. When when we posted the show notes today, and Arlo's immediate text was, "Oh my, hour 2, wow!" And I was just kind of like, "Oh shit!" And I couldn't get. It's like racing to the comments. Like I couldn't get there fast enough to see what old Smoke Dragon had cooked up for hour 2.
So this isn't about like. I mean, it happening to you, like you don't want to be awake for a procedure.
Oh, no, I think that I would pass out. I think that I would have like an anxiety.
They give you Versed for that, bro.
I don't know what a Versed is, but
I do,
I guarantee that I don't know. Somebody else was telling this story at work, like, oh, I think there's times, like if it's a very traumatic injury, they don't have time to wait for sedatives. They'll give a local and they can
give
do
you
surgeries.
they do a nerve block.
But I can't imagine.
Yeah, like my dad, when they go in for your rotator cuff, like they just do a nerve block from like you can't feel shit from, like they target these specific nerves. And
what
if
they miss?
Then when they freaking slice into you and you go, then they know they missed,
But they dope it up so much, and then they put like a pain pump in there.
When Justine had the twins, like she had full intentions of delivering the twins naturally. Mm-hmm. Like obviously with an epidural and everything like that. Yeah. So she goes in, we go in for that morning, just a random. She was 36-0, or 36-1 or 36-0. And they told us in the beginning, like, if you have any like complications with the twins pre-36, so like 35 and 8.
What are you talking about?
Not
35
weeks. So 35.
And then the and is days.
35 weeks and 4 days, or 35 weeks and 6 days. If you don't make it to 36-0, you have to go to Evansville to deliver, just because of the issues that you could run into. Well, Justine was at 36-0. We go in, some things, basically Dr. Wernie comes back in, she said, we're having kids today. And I was like, holy shit, here we go. We were planning on at least 2 more weeks. Of course, we had the bag packed, everything else. Max ended up flipping breech. And Evelyn was still vertex. She was still head down. Max was flipped breech. And they were like, so Evelyn, you could deliver her first naturally. But once you get her out, we're going to have to try to do a version. We're going to have to try to
the old tuck and roll.
Yeah, we're going to have to move him to where he's head down, because his head is way too big to deliver breech. If you can imagine that kid's a monster. So anyway, Justine's like, we don't want to do that, so let's just go to C-section. So her whole birth plan changed. We go to C-section. I'm hanging out in the room, like I told you. I think when we covered this story, like I've have gutted 1,500 deer in my life and everything like that, and I'm not squeamish. I'm not squeamish or anything. It doesn't bother me. The smells. I think I'm probably more of a sound guy, like the sound of stuff, whatever, doesn't bother me. But like, so the dad wall, and of course, when you're delivering twins, there's like 50 people in the OR, and I was just, because you got, two, your main pediatrician, probably, and a pediatrician MP, you got like a team of nurses per baby, really? Not to mention a nurse or two for Justine, the mom. I could be exaggerating and not remembering everything, but I stepped around the wall and was really checking her out. Like took pictures, the whole works. I did.
Why would you want to see that?
I don't know, because it's crazy. Like you said, the thought of like when they split her abdomen muscles and like you got to move the small intestine out of the way.
I don't even.
And then they get that uterus up front and they start to enter the uterus and start pulling babies out of there. David's getting ready to pass out. But like I was asking Dr. Wernie, like, what is that? What is this? What is that? And the other aiding physician, Dr. Hopf, at the time was like, I'll let him give you the tour. And he's got these big ass tweezer looking forceps, and he's like tucking things back in. And he was like, oh yeah, this is this and that is that. And the whole time they're playing Modest Mouse in the background on an iPod. I
do remember this now.
On an iHome, and they were talking about an air show and like all kinds of shit. And
guys, I've had some hard poops that I thought I was going to get anesthesia for.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like it feels like you're shitting a ball of glass.
So dramatic.
You know what I keep thinking about is
what
a wild work environment. That's your job.
They're battle-hardened bitches, dude.
Jenna came at the last one with
William.
William. She came out with a temporary tattoo. Like, just the amount of, like...
Yeah, they're dark
I don't want to
humor.
say zero shits given, because that's not it. They're very much shits given.
Yes.
But, like, the ability to take it and have a joke about it.
Yeah.
I was a nervous freaking wreck
Yeah.
the whole time because I don't want to smell. I love my wife to death and I do anything for her, but I don't want to smell the inside of her. Like, it's not something I signed up for. You got
Like
for better, for worse,
cauterizing.
for sickness and health, but nowhere did I sign up for smelling your intestines.
Yes, like I get it. Yeah,
I
it's
don't
a
want it.
very earthy smell, whatever.
Jesus.
Did you say earthy?
Yeah, it's a very what do you say? It's like musk with an oaky finish.
Like I can't help but think of like Star Wars on Hoth when he had to cut open that thing and the intestines.
What the hell were
swimming
those
around.
things called?
Gosh,
I
dang
bet
it.
our buddy Josh Shirley could tell us what they
Yeah,
were
he'll
called.
let us know.
Narwhal.
I thought these things smelled bad on the outside, but those
when
things-
Luke Skywalker had to like enter himself into that.
Well, he did. Han entered him in there because Luke Skywalker passed out from the cold.
Okay, yes.
Uh,
So I've had
Chuck-
several
Chuck
surgeries.
maybe, but
I've had 5 knee surgeries so far, and then I've had just five surgeries. Other than like small
I had an appendectomy.
oh yeah, that's a big one. Ingrown toenail surgery, like where they go
I
in
could
there.
probably stay awake for that.
Yeah, when they go in there and cut your toenails out. No, that's pretty brutal. It would suck ass if you didn't have numbing for that. But
That's tough.
I don't recover well from surgery. Like I don't.
Oh, I guess I was awake when I got my vasectomy.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, I was awake. Yeah,
But
because
that don't- I
talked
don't
to
call
you.
that a
Did you take a
surgery.
Valium?
Yeah, hell yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
they gave me something to take right before I got there. I had to drive. You got a ride though?
I drove. Justine took me. No, I did not drive. Justine took
Yeah,
me.
Jenna's like, well, I got to watch these kids. You're just gonna have to.
Justine gave me a ride, and then I was all doped up because she was like, "Man, if they could give you Valium like daily, that would be great because you were so nice and thoughtful, and you were very sweet, and it was just you were a pleasure to be around." And I was like, "Hell yeah, I don't give a damn."
I didn't take the Valium.
What?
I did it, and I laid in that old chair and just sweat down my back.
Oh,
It was
bullshit,
freaking-
man. I loved it. I talked to the girl that was shaving my nuts the whole time. Like I had a
Oh,
really
you didn't pre-shave?
Well, yeah, but then she trimmed up what obviously I didn't get good enough. Yeah. Like, I mean, I didn't go through there and get a bag wax or nothing, but I tried my
You didn't do a detail job
No,
before?
I didn't. I just kind of got like 2 types of people in this world, mowing to look good and mowing to get done. And I mowed.
You're in that second bucket?
I mowed to get done. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But anyway, I don't know. I've had several surgeries, but I don't wake up good from it. Like, I guess it's because of my, I hate to say drug tolerance, but like some people require more barbiturates and drugs, to get you to knock down than others.
Yeah.
And I guess obviously size has a lot to do with that.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
whole
it takes
calculation.
whatever it would take for a small horse to get me down. But then I can
A
remember,
Shetland pony.
yeah, I can remember waking up, man, and like just convulsions, like just shaking so bad that the rails of the bed was just like grrr, shaking so freaking hard, and I'm like, what is happening? And they're like, oh, it's okay, just take deep breaths. It's just a side effect from the medicine. And Justine was like, I thought you were going to wall your fat ass right out of that gurney. But it's just a thing, man. And I don't know. I hope I don't have to have any more surgeries, but I've been through the gauntlet. I've had a few. Yeah. Casey, what about you? Have you ever been entered surgically?
Nope.
Wow. That's pretty wild.
I don't. Well, I guess when I had my wisdom teeth cut out.
Ooh, I had
my
bet you're
wisdom
a-
teeth.
Were you
I bet you're a
out or
blubbering idiot for
out?
that, weren't
Out.
you?
I wasn't out. I was hitting on the not
Same.
nurses, whatever they are.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think they're nurses at the
orthodontic. I don't know what he no.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Dental
they didn't
hygienist.
give me a local dental
Maybe.
hygienist.
Well,
They
those are
didn't give
people
me
that
a
clean your
local
teeth.
on one of them because I was like, and then I did the whole, and he was like, "Did you feel that?" And I'm like,
Yeah,
And
it
then
sounded
he
like
picked
Kenny
up and he
from
was like,
Cyber.
"Oh,
trying to
I
have a
forgot to
con-
give you this one."
Holy shit!
Yeah.
No,
man.
Dr. Mono Smith did mine. It was our senior year.
Oh my god!
And
Monos.
my mom was pissed. she took me over, and I joked with Mono Smith. I go, my God, they just probably a little nervous about having it done because mine were bad. I had big gaping holes because I think mine had impacted or turned.
Yikes.
And I said, you're just here for a little bit, right? And he goes, yeah, we actually got a card game going on. We let Gary down in, mechanical come in and do with some of these other. And I was like, oh, that's funny. And he goes, you're going to sleep. And then I just loosely remember being wheeled out and then getting in the car with Mom and then coming home. And I don't this is people that can chew the lower tabs like they're going out of style. They made me miserable. I think I took one and I told Mom they made me feel worse. I'll do Tylenol or just feel it because I can't.
Justine, that was one thing I'll give a credit to her. With the whole C-section, Tylenol and Advil or Tylenol and Motrin.
Because
Tylenol and Motrin. I am the biggest vagina in the world because I had a couple of pretty big reparative knee surgeries, and I ate Percocets like Skittles.
See, and
that was not a good time.
For me, I don't like to not be in control. It's probably a psychoanalysis of just needing to be able to control mind, body, all that other stuff. Because even times where
I don't struggle with it.
Yeah. Times where getting intoxicated to the point where you go blackout.
Yeah.
I've only done it once or twice.
Oh,
and
really?
It's not a comfortable feeling.
Lucky.
I like to keep hold of the steering wheel.
No, that's good. I don't let Jesus take the wheel very often, but I would definitely be lying
my mom, she was pissed because I had ripped out the gauze.
Oh, yeah.
She goes, I go to get the vehicle. You're sitting there with the nurse, and I come back, and you've ripped the gauze out and thrown it on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, I could have murdered you.
Justine was a blubbering human. I'll never forget that to the day I die. When I had to pick her up when she got her teeth cut out. I took her over there, and I picked her up, and she came out just slobbering.
Yeah.
It was just terrible. I couldn't imagine. And she was college age at that when she got her wisdom teeth out.
I was in college when I got mine out.
Oh, you poor suckers, man.
I remember they're like, we're going to need to help you up. I was like, I can do it. I can do it. And I got up out of the chair. So I drove myself to the appointment. My mom and stepdad then showed up and, one to take me home and one to drive my vehicle.
Right.
And so I get up and I go, okay, well, all right, you got up on your own. I said, yeah, I'm just going to go out here. And I remember I was like, hey, and I went to give the keys to my stepdad. And then I ran through the door. I was like, I'm driving. And I was like, I'm just effing with you. And I threw him the keys. God. But I had dry sockets for 5 weeks.
Dude.
Because I smoked cigarettes.
That's what I was going to say. A buddy of mine, the same thing. I told him 1,000 times. It was his face was so squirreled up, swollen. And he was eating Lortabs like candy too, and shit. And he's like, man, I smoking a cigarette, and I'm like, you can't do that, dude. You're going to get dry socket and it's going to be terrible. Terrible. Yeah. And I remember one time he smoked a cigarette and all of a sudden he just starts spitting big mouthfuls of blood out. And I said, you ripped a scab off, you dipshit. I told you not to do that.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's gnarly.
Yeah. So.
But anyway, yeah, wake for surgeries, not me. I don't want it.
No, I'm out.
And we all don't do very well with it. Only other time went out when I broke my arm. They just reset it. So, yeah.
And you passed out or they put you out?
No, they put me out.
Yeah.
Philip Van Kersen's dad was the nurse anesthetist that day. That's a flash. That's a
blast from the past.
Blast from the past. But anyways, we're moving on from that because it is time for everybody's favorite segment that listens to the show. It is our time to welcome you to the Merkley and Sons Choice Cuts questions of the week for the fellas.
Drum roll.
Sponsored by Merkley and Sons, the ultimate destination for meat enthusiasts. It is officially grilling season, and no better place to start your cookout than heading over to the retail store to shop till you drop. Go in and see Bradley and John Boy and load up on their natural casing hot dogs, brats, smoked products, or them world-famous seasoned patties. If that doesn't scratch your itch, you can still choose from a wide selection of fresh beef and pork products, frozen chicken, or even seafood. Merkley and Sons prides itself on providing the best of the best. Every cookout should begin with unwrapping a Merkley and Sons package. Let the sizzle begin.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Thank you to Merkley and Sons for sponsoring the Choice Cuts questions of the week for the fellas. They come from friend of the program. These were from back in February, slipped through the cracks, but our friend Lene Heichelbeck.
Oh, Lene.
Yeah,
Classmate
Lene,
of mine.
classmate of yours. We may remember her as
Lene Schneer.
Schneer. Yeah. So Lene had reached out early on when she was a big fan of the show. Sent some questions. I was going back through, scavenging for some to make sure none have fallen through. And then I get to Lene's, and I felt like they were pretty good today because they asked for about a little self-reflection, guys.
Oh, that's how I found my new hippie lifestyle a
Yeah.
couple years ago.
Yeah, self-reflection.
As we start, Lene's first question, Arlo, what is your favorite thing about yourself?
Oh my God. You're gargantuous.
Uranium.
Yeah.
That's what he said, folks. Gosh, I was looking on the show notes because I didn't see this, so I couldn't mentally prepare
Yeah, I
for
know.
this.
I wanted
That's
to
what the
get-
best part about this
I wanted to get
segment
live
is.
reaction.
Yeah, that's I don't know. I guess I like that I can talk to people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Mace, what about you?
You know, it's tough when you try to self-reflect or try to think about positives
Well,
about
'cause
yourself.
you don't want to pump your own tires up here.
Well, because a lot of times people, like personally, a lot of people just try to pick out the negatives amongst themselves. But I was always the same. I think I'm going to try to steal Arlo's thunder here too. But like when I was a kid growing up, like that's one thing my mom and dad always used to say is that boy ain't never met a stranger. And I think I could literally talk to anybody. You know, doing a good deed. Like I've always found myself like helping the old lady across the street or, you know, like doing good deeds, like I think the Boy Scout, one of the not the motto, but like it was one of the things. It was
Central
like
tenets.
do a good deed daily. And I usually try to do that.
I would I'll help you here, and I would say you have a good heart.
Oh, thank you, Arlo. Appreciate that, man.
I think you do care. You have good intentions.
Yeah.
Yep.
Smoke, what about you?
I think that I'm going to start vetting these questions.
Oh no.
I don't think
Come
that's
on,
how
Dave
this
Dog.
works.
You got some good shit here. Come on.
My kids, I guess, is that like part of me?
What's your favorite thing? Well, I guess half of them are.
That'd be it.
What's your favorite thing about yourself? My kids.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is more of
I
something.
don't like that answer.
I don't
No,
either.
that's generic.
It doesn't.
You're kind of
pass.
deflecting.
You are.
I don't
deflecting.
think that there's any part of me that I wouldn't fix if I could. Like,
Oh,
I just don't, like, everybody's got room for improvement. I
Well,
feel
yeah,
like.
that's what I said. That's what I prefaced my statement by saying 95% or 99% of the time, people always find the negatives about their own self, and very
Right.
rarely. In case you said, yeah, you don't want to pump your own tires up, but like, I'm sure you love, you know, being witty. You love figuring things out. You love
People love the Dave one-liners.
Yes, dude.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you know that's good because
Yeah.
you're
Oh,
sharp.
yeah.
You're sharp. You're a smart guy.
Yeah, you're nobody's fool.
Yeah. That's what I like, that I'm nobody's fool.
There you go.
Oh,
Good
that's
deal,
good.
Dave. See,
Good job. He's
I really
got it.
pried that out of you.
All
All right, boss man, what you got?
Favorite thing about myself would probably be my personality, because I don't have too many bad days. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't let my bad days affect the people around me. And I think that's a character trait
That's
of
huge there.
everybody is
That's
going through
huge.
something today.
Yeah,
I don't want to pile onto somebody else's bad day.
good one.
So I very much try to be a difference maker and don't let my problems
Become your problem.
become somebody else's.
Yeah, good one.
So, Arlo, what is the first thing you notice about someone else?
This is so hard. I'm going to say their smile, probably.
Yeah.
their gargantuous rack if they got one. No, I don't know. I mean, the first thing you like, not that you judge on somebody, but like the first thing that you notice. It's usually, I mean, obviously, it's just their general appearance. You know what I mean? Like, what in the hell were they thinking when they wore that today? Or, you know what I mean? Like you never judge a book by its cover, but it's like I bet you could always somewhat get a little piece of their style about like what they're wearing or like their swag. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I think
like confidence. You can see.
Not necessarily that, but just like, yeah, just kind of see like, oh boy, this is going to be an odd duck, or like, yeah, that guy seems pretty cool. Yeah. You?
Demeanor.
Yeah. Yep.
I've got two that it's really weird. Like if it's in a close setting, it's breath. Like how your breath smells.
Oh boy.
God, I hope not to be close enough to know how somebody's.
No,
breath
but in my former line,
I have a lot.
Smoke's personal bubble is a lot larger.
Yeah. Well, but in my previous line of work, like when people are trying to converse with their attorney or families trying to converse and you're all huddled up, like that was because I have a pretty good nose.
Oh God.
Like a bloodhound, and some like.
Maxey has a nose for justice.
Oh my
it's not
God.
that, but I would say that.
There's those smoke one-liners.
But I think the other thing would be like how you like carry yourself or walk into a room, because I think you can tell a lot about somebody.
Yeah.
By how they carry. What are their shoulders? What's their head? What's their face? Like that's a lot. But I think it's the thing. Like if it's like how somebody carries himself. So Arlo, if you could change one decision you've made in your life, what would it be?
Oh my
God. Good night.
This is deep.
Thank God this camera ran out of storage because you can't see my face right now.
Hey, it is the choice cuts questions of the week, not bullshit. It is.
What is the question? What decision?
If you could change one decision you've made in your life, what would it be?
Good night. Who asked these?
Lene. She's a good chick too.
Very good.
We grew up on North Jackson Street. My grandparents, and she was neighbors with my grandparents, and we used to hang out a lot. Rode the bus together.
And why you think she has been affected by cancer when her father, and so it was melanoma, right? I think I remember that correctly. So because we had talked about doctor's appointments, and so Arlo, I'm just buying you time to come up with an answer. You let me know when you're ready, but go to your dermatologist, get spots checked out. I know she'll appreciate that because I think the spot that was her father, it was not like atypical like mole or red, like it was, I forget how she described it, but it was kind of like a skin colored spot. So go to the dermatologist, get checked out. Back to Arlo.
Guys, I don't know if I have one.
My decision was not. I wish I wouldn't have sold my Harley. I know that's generic, and I could probably come up with a lot more that are super more meaningful and deep. But like, I wish I wouldn't have sold that motorcycle. I wish I would have just let that son of a bitch sit in the garage in a corner, because it didn't cost me any money because it was paid for, and the insurance was like pennies on the dollar, and I miss that thing to be able to just jump on that thing and rip around every now and then.
Well, now because we're in a biker gang that turned into a podcast.
Yeah.
With 2 bikes instead of.
Yeah. Well,
actually 3.
Arlo's got 2. So we're in a 4-man.
You got 2 now?
Yeah. Well, he always has had 2. 2 of the yeah.
KTM and Harley.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Smoke Dog. Smoke Dragon.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Dang it, Lynn. I spent a fair amount of my young adulthood trying to live up to what I thought people thought I should be. And it just didn't work out.
See, that's the kind of shit that they were fishing for.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what they're looking for.
That's a good
There's
one.
a lot more happiness when you're just living for you and yours. And it wasn't all that many years ago that I probably realized to kind of give the whole Kid Rock middle finger to the whole thing
Yeah.
to everybody. So I'd say, don't trying to please what I thought the wishes of others were.
I think for me, I think I don't like Cooley was great. I was able to get out of the area, and I was able to experience living in Michigan, and I made great memories and great friends that I wouldn't trade for anything. But I wish I would have spent a little bit more time and a little bit more dedication to the LSAT because I think like I chose the University of Evansville because I knew I stepped on IU's campus for a visit with Mom, and like the city bus dropping off kids was enough to be like, Mom, we might as well get back in the car because it's not for me. Like it's not. I wasn't ready for it. UE worked out great. Felt like home, but the post-grad plan was go somewhere fun and exotic for law school or whatever it may be. And I just, you did great on that one. But I didn't take it serious. And shitty LSAT score, good GPA. I mean, I graduated.
LSAT.
Law school admissions test.
Gotcha.
I was middle of the road, but I just maybe should have not worried about going right away, taking it in February, figured out what something would have worked out. But I don't necessarily regret it because what I did up there was made the most of it. So I don't know because I don't regret a whole lot else because I got a wonderful wife, good friends.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great children, good career. Like other than that, I've been pretty damn lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Arlo, we got.
I still can't really, I know it's terrible, but I really can't think of anything that I ultimately regret. I just can't.
And that's fine.
And that's okay.
That's good.
You did a little bit of soul searching, and that's all Lene wanted us to do.
That's fine.
I mean, nothing comes, like, nothing screams like, you know, I'm the only guy here that's divorced, and I still wouldn't even change that. Like, I wouldn't go back. I have 2 wonderful kids from that marriage.
I thought you said you wouldn't get divorced.
No, I'm saying, no. I'm like, I think it could be easy to say, like, you know, I wouldn't have gotten married or something to that effect, but I still, like, there's really not much. Like, yes, there's things I could say, like, well, I would have handled this differently or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's also like, man, we're all human beings. We all like,
and you do
screw
the
it
best
up.
you can with the information you have at the time.
Right.
Wow, Lene, that was
Holy cow. That
some
could have been the
soul-searching?
deepest ones we've had in a while.
some soul searching there. And
Real
when we get
humdingers.
off of recording here, we're probably gonna have a beer, maybe turn on some tunes,
Some
and just
Dr. Phil.
maybe
and just kind of
relax.
Tell me how you feel.
deep
Relax a
thoughts
little
with
bit.
Jack Handy.
Yeah. So, but hey,
Handy.
keeping up with something,
Handy.
fellas. I named this segment "Let the Dutchman Be Your DJ." Last week we added 2 to 3 songs to a Spotify playlist that you'll be able to check out and have. But this is going to be for the summer at least. Let the Dutchman be your DJ. We throw 2 to 3 songs out there, and then we'll add them, and you can listen, and you can tell us what you think. Arlo, you got a couple?
I do. So one of my favorite songs, and I know I can't play it, but it's by Hardy. Assuming you guys have listened to
Big Hardy
listened to
fan.
some Hardy, and it is that song "I Ain't in the Country No More." I don't know if you've heard it. It's not
I have.
I don't think it's one of his like top tier songs, but I love that song.
Yeah.
It's a good jam.
I was out on Hardy because that song Rednecker was like one of his first radio releases.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a clown song. And then like you start to listen to his other stuff and it's like pretty good.
He's got some good ones. Sold Out,
So
it's good.
Hardy, actually, when I first started my Twitter, I made a comment on his page, and I got a notification back that Hardy has followed you.
What?
And then out
Yeah.
of nowhere, I immediately went to it and couldn't find it. I think he inadvertently, or whoever runs that page, inadvertently
Oh,
hit
it's
a
kind of like
follow
the jelly
back.
roll situation.
And
Yeah.
well, no, that was an actual retweet. That actually happened.
Oh,
But I had a notification, but nothing came from it. Like, dang, like we almost made it. Like I thought that was going to get us.
It's
to
going to
the
be
top.
close. Anything else you'd want to add to the list?
You know, one guy I've been listening a lot more to is his name's Jordan. It's Jordan Davis. Yeah, you guys listen to Jordan Davis, country music guy. He's got some good ones. But I like that song "Next Thing You Know." Is anyone's ringing any bell?
No.
Nobody. Okay. So anyway, I like that song. It's probably the two I would add.
We'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Big Mace, what you got?
I have 4.
Okay.
Are we writing these down?
I am.
Okay. I was going to say, what the hell? Number 1 would be 311, Beyond the Gray Sky.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great singing song. Like, you can really belt that son of a buck in the car. Beyond the Gray Sky. It's a good one. The next one, I'll shout out to my mom, which I know I said it earlier, and hopefully my mom doesn't plan on croaking anytime soon, but Spirit in the Sky. That's my mom. Mama Linda, she wants that. We're going to do her good one of these days when it's her
I think
time
I
to go.
sang that for her on one of my drunken.
You did, and I said it to her, and she loved it. She loved it.
Wonders every once in a while on my Snapchat, I'll get into a karaoke night and take requests.
Yeah, hell yeah. We need to do that, by the way. Maybe we'll do that tonight later here. Maybe.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
The next 2 are some pretty old school, taking a trip down to memory lane. Chevy Riding High. Chevy Riding High, boy, Chevy Riding High. You know, that's a rap song. I know. Not many people will know. It's kind of out of left field, but I was feeling it earlier because I heard it. And then last but not least is a really nice little ballad by our friend Petey Pablo.
North
You
Carolina.
damn right, the helicopter. North Carolina, come on and raise up. Take your shirt off. Spin it around your head till it's sitting like a helicopter. That one there, that's a banger. Heater.
It's a heater.
So there's my 4.
Wow. I would have never guessed that, Arlo.
This is going to be the wildest mixtape ever.
Yeah.
I love it, though. That's the best part about it, man. All right, Dave.
Smoke
These
Daddy.
ought to be good.
Okay, so based off this week's listening, number 1, we're going to come in with some George Jones because I love the possum. We're still doing time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, number 2, we're going to come in with some Alan Jackson
Oh.
here in the real world.
Ah.
And then number 3, we're going to drop in with some ZZ Top, My Head's in Mississippi.
Ooh, that's a heater. Yeah,
Love
baby.
ZZ Top. Okay, so my first one. I know.
I love this.
I know that we vocal cord issues. I know. I took my cap. Oh, I didn't take my cap. I asked gentlemen to remove their cap.
So his first is
I
going to be a
poured
Morgan
a
Wallen
little
song.
beer out. Well, it's actually by Ernest,
Ooh.
and it's Flower Shop.
That's a great song.
I love that song. He's on it with our buddy Morgan Whalen, whose hymen hurts, and T's and P's.
T's and P's for the
T's
Morgan
and P's to
Wallen.
Morgan Whalen. We got a T-shirt heading your way.
Yeah. Next song. I love Zach Bryan, Heading South.
Oh yeah.
I like that. It's a good introductory to Zach Bryan, not a deep cut, but I like it.
Mm-hmm.
And the next one, because we're going to be there in 4 weeks. Goodbye Carolina by Marcus King.
Yeah.
The Marcus King band. Like
Yep.
when he plays that song and he gets into it, I
We're
love
going to
it.
turn that on as soon as we
I
shut
love
As
it.
this
soon as we
down.
get done with
I
this
love
show, Arlo, before you leave, we're going to turn that thing up and crank it to 1,000.
I love
Because
it.
if you don't
So-
like it, you can get bent.
But guess what? Guess what? We have come to the end of
it.
this today. But we are not done.
We're not done.
The
Uh-oh.
last pass brought to you by our friends at Hopf Outdoor Power. Are you ready to take your outdoor power equipment to the next level? Your answer? Hell yes. Hopf Outdoor Power is the ultimate destination for all of your outdoor power needs. From Kubota tractors to Polaris side-by-sides, from Cub Cadet mowers to Echo chainsaws. No matter what you're looking for, Hopf Outdoor Power has it and more. Plus, they offer outstanding sales, services, and parts, so you can always rely on them for quality and convenience. Don't settle for less than the best when it comes to your outdoor power equipment. Visit Hopf Outdoor Power today and discover why they are the leaders in the industry. Hopf Outdoor Power, where the grass is always greener, and they say mow responsibly as well.
Hell yeah.
Arlo, last pass. What do you got, brother?
I've got
Two
this
tickets
is
to Paris.
well, I've got that too. Yeah. This was an interesting thing that came up this last week. So I recorded another episode of Grandma.
Yeah.
Don't know if you guys saw that.
It was good, man.
Children's
It was.
Chronicles, shameless plug. And I recorded with her because I was trying to get with her kids to record first, but there's a lot of life going on. So busy, and some don't want to do it, which is fine. But there was a couple of things that stood out, and I made some shorts that I shared. I don't know if any of you guys saw
I've
them,
seen them all.
but one of the coolest things to think about is, so she is 88 years old, and her husband, my grandpa, passed in 1998. So he's been gone a while.
Mhm.
And there's two things out of it. First, I asked her the question of how she had planned life, and then how life actually had turned out. And it was the coolest, interaction with her that I've had. But it was also pretty sad because she talked about losing her husband at such a young age, because he was 64 when he passed. And, that is the reminder to enjoy your family, enjoy your spouses, do all of those things. Second part, this was another short that I shared, was I asked how they dated after they had kids. And the thing she remembered was him bringing her a cheeseburger and fries from the Legion after bowling.
Yeah.
And
I remember
that's the thing that sticks for her. It's probably been 50
I think her thing
50 or
was the
60 years.
little things.
Yeah, it's like
The little things
those
is what
little
lasts forever.
inconsequential things is what she remembers after that. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
To kind of share that moment with her. So
Well,
That's a really cool thing you got going too, by the way. That's badass. I wish.
That's awesome.
I'm not really, wouldn't say we're all new to the podcasting age because we're 30 weeks into it now.
Well, plus a couple test runs.
Yeah, that's fine. I wish I would have done the same thing. I guarantee you everybody in this world probably wishes they could have do the same thing.
yeah, no, I feel fortunate.
Grandparents and all their predecessors, but yeah, that's cool.
And she's still sharp. You can tell.
Yeah,
in that
she
episode.
is. She's
She's still got it.
Hell yeah, man.
Mace?
My final thought is, number one, congratulations to the new Mr. and Mrs. Kyler Kuhn, Annie and Kai. Their wedding this weekend that I cannot wait to get up there to. If you're listening to this, they've already been married for 6 days.
Honeymoon's over.
Yeah, the honey. But other than that, there's one big thing that I wanted to announce before we get off here. Things are really going to jump off the chain at the 2023 Holland Community Fest.
Right.
Folks at home, my final thought is that this year, the 2023 Holland Festival, the Wondering Dutchman, yours truly, will be sponsoring the first annual Wondering Dutchman Backyard Barbecue Festival competition. Festival competition. I don't know why I threw the festival.
Yeah.
In there.
We're just super
It's
excited.
actually just a barbecue competition, backyard barbecue competition. There's a lot of details that are going to have to be worked out between now and then, but I'm just going to try to get the word out there. If you have a team or a person or somebody, or you want to test your might in the barbecue world, be prepared, because I can imagine it's going to be pretty grueling, and you're going to have to nut up or shut up if you're going to win. But we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and that's going to be September 15th and 16th is the fest this year down there at the beautiful Holland Park. And
there is going to be a limited amount of spaces. We don't know exactly that number.
So as soon as we get the
We got some details to work out.
Yeah, as soon as we get the details to work out and we decide on our registration day, you better shit or get off the pot, boys, because the pond's going to fill up pretty quick.
Explain why it's backyard.
Because we don't want those $50 million 35-foot trailers to come in with their Wagyu beef and
we won't have a prize good enough for those folks yet.
that's right. Yeah.
But we're going to have a plenty good prize for a backyard.
And actually, the reality of it is our people are the backyard weekend warriors.
That's
that
right.
Go out there,
the blue
throw
collar
the brisket
smoker
on there,
that's
throw
right.
the butt on there,
Pork butts and ribs. And
Only reason I wanted to bring it up is just so that someone isn't thinking like, well, you're going to have a bunch of those kind of guys
we're
and
not.
gals. It's
The
gonna-
hobnobbers and the big dogs, that they can stay at home because this one's for the backyard guys. But we're still gonna.
I love it.
there's still going to be some competition.
There's gonna be some skin in the game, that's for sure.
There's still going to be some competition.
You better pack your lunch. That's all I got to say. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, smoke.
Driving into work this morning, got plenty of an early start, and I'm not going to mention where I was at, and we'll get to that in a minute. But this young feller was in front of me. And in the mornings you're rushing in, everybody's trying to get to work and do their thing. And this young fella, I see that he opens the door of his vehicle. Oh, that's weird. We're at a stoplight.
Dumps out his cigarettes.
And, no, I didn't dump out no cigarettes. But he got out and he looked at me and kind of, gave me this awkward wave. And the vehicle he's in starts rolling backwards towards my vehicle. And he just panics. Oh, he gets in and he sets the parking brake or whatever. And he pops the hood and he runs up. And I believe what he did was he jumped the starter to get his truck to start. And I kind of smiled at him and waved. And then I felt bad driving into work that I hope he didn't take it the wrong way, that I was smiling like this poor bastard. But I remember those days being a young guy trying to get to work, and you're doing the best with what you got.
I literally was going to say the same thing, Smoke, because I was like, I guarantee you David was thinking, God damn, I was there before. Like, I've been there, man.
And he waved a couple awkward waves from his vehicle, and I kind of seen him do the daggone it, why today thing. And then I immediately felt worse because as the light changed, he took off. I'm like, man, I should have just got out and hey, man, I'm proud of you. Like, because going to work today, you're just trying to obviously go do what you're supposed to do as a human being.
That's right.
And the whole world's against you. I remember being there. And the reason I'm not going to say where I'm at is just on the off chance that this particular young man is a wanderer, and you can tell me where we were at, that your morning went south, we'll send you some swag and get you taken care of.
Yeah, man.
But the whole thing is like, daggone it. I don't want to see anybody struggle, but like in the talks earlier with the internet and kids now, and we talked about shitty kids a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
Here's this young person whose whole day was going to shit.
Yeah.
And it hadn't even started yet. And he was just doing his thing. And I could tell how much and I've been there.
Yeah, man.
So, you know what? This is just all you wanderers out there that, gosh dang it, not every day is a great day. Most of them are shit days, but at the end you can pile up all the good moments and it's better than all the bad ones. And on the off chance that homeboy is a wanderer, you tell me what stoplight we were at in Huntingburg this morning, and we'll get you some swag out your way one of these days to hopefully make up for the shit day that you had started this morning. And that's what I got.
That's a good one.
It's a good one. Great advice.
You're up, Coach.
I know. We're in the thick of baseball. It's almost done. And I had a great reminder last night. We haven't played very well at all. And today at practice, we hadn't practiced on Thursdays because Zoe's been YMCA in it for T-ball. And we had practice today. And I had sent a message. Like, I just wasn't happy with how we played yesterday. I felt like we left a lot of meat on the bone. And the tough thing about coaching is you realize you don't get paid to do it professionally, and your impact on these children is not, hey, we beat such and such at this time. It's how do you deal with adversity and how do you handle things? And probably in a more shorter conversation yesterday, I'm sure there was a bunch of unhappy 8th graders head down over the hill and get in their parents' vehicles. And I know for sure there was probably some very unhappy 7th and 6th graders getting their parents' vehicle. But I kind of had a moment of driving, and I like, it's such a bad character flaw. And it's crazy, like Lene's questions today of like a self-reflection. Like sometimes I am on something like an old hunting dog. Like it is a terrible freaking habit. Like there will be something that bothers me and I just obsess about it.
Oh yeah.
Like almost to the point where it's like, you're an idiot. The grand scheme of it, it's middle school baseball. You're trying to prepare these kids for life. Some of them are going to play after high school. Some of them might not even play in high school. So today, first time in coaching, I sent out a message to the parents to say, hey, make sure little Jimmy brings athletic shoes, i.e. bring your running shoes, I think was the exact words.
On top of the cleats.
On top of the cleats. Because I knew the parents would be like, hey, Coach said make sure you bring some running shoes.
Oh, you got some athletic shoes. Grass.
Well, because some guys show up in Hey Dudes, or show up in flip-flops, or
Crocs.
other shit, Crocs. And so the staff and I, we talked about,
making them run poles till they puke.
It was either that or we were going to play kickball today.
Oh.
And so we had an
Luckily, kickball won.
Yeah, we had an impromptu pizza party and played kickball. And the message was, we've worked so damn hard since February. We've had a little bit of adversity with a side-by-side accident that unfortunately has sidelined, 2 of our better players. Could have been a lot worse. We're lucky it wasn't. But, like, it's taken a little bit of the wind out of our sails. And we've kind of limped into these last couple weeks. And I hope we finish strong. And I think the reminder was, like, teach these kids the life lesson of you can work extremely hard to your goals and what you want to do in life, but sometimes you need a day just to kick it, relax, have fun, and do something fun.
That's right.
And so it's wild. So my advice to some of you, take your PTO, take your time off, spend time with the children, take the kids out of daycare for a day, like whatever you got to do to sharpen the axe. Because
we just booked a week in that old shithole down there in Florida.
That dump. Well, but finding out how this guy is about beaches, he might as well just stay here in the plane.
Terrible time.
Yeah.
Right
So
we're gonna live it up. But hey, man.
Yeah, that's what we got. But
This week was a blast, boys.
it was, and with that, episode 129 is in the can. Dutchman out.